What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty, and welcome to another amazing video. You can follow me on Patreon for exclusive stories.
4 rupees. Chapter 78 Grandmaster Style. Seeing the fierce battle between Chichi and Goku. Tien Shinhan's mind was about to explode. But Goku and Chichi on the stage had no idea. They were from the same school and were unmarried, so how could they fight seriously? Even though it looked fierce, in fact, they didn't use much strength in the fight. Either you let me or I let you. In short, the couple pushed and dragged, and no one wanted to win. The fight that looked extremely strong to outsiders was like a massage in the eyes of Krillin, who was of similar strength. Finally, after the two fought for a long time, Chi-Chi's acting skills were better. Goku hit her in the heart with a palm, Chi-Chi covered her heart, screamed and flew out. When she reacted, she had fallen to the grass outside the ring. Oh, I actually lost, what a pity, Chi-Chi said happily. Chi-Chi's acting was too exaggerated, and Krillin was speechless. However, although they were pretending to outsiders, this was definitely an unprecedented duel between masters. There was a warm applause outside the stadium. Well done. It was wonderful. As expected of a top martial artist, this level of fighting is simply too strong. Come on. The little girl is also very strong. In my opinion, it is an honor to lose. Bulma watched the two people fighting and fell into deep thought. They seem to be a little too strong. I remember that after the duel, Danbalan should appear. Krillin died in this crisis. I have to think about what to say and communicate with them quickly. Don't kill Piccolo Daimao when you meet him. If Piccolo dies and Dragon Ball loses its power, it will be troublesome. Soon, the referee announced the winner. Son Goku wins. Please welcome Tien Shinhan to fight Jackie Chan. This is an interesting duel. Jackie Chan, the champion of the last World Martial Arts Tournament, will face the invincible Tien Shinhan. This will be an exciting fight. After seeing the real power, the originally unruly Tien Shinhan has begun to doubt his life and is not so arrogant anymore. Seeing Jackie Chan on stage, Tien Shinhan opened his starting position and looked at his opponent seriously. With the start, both rushed towards each other. Although it was not as outrageous as the fight between Chichi and Goku. But the fight with Jackie Chan was rigorous, and the offense and defense were very tight, without any flaws. As the fight continued, the two fought faster and faster. As a martial arts master, Master Roshi knew that his physical strength could not be compared with that of a young man, and it was impossible for him to last as long as him. Now, although there was no winner in the fight, the more physical strength he consumed, the more disadvantageous it would be for him. So, Jackie Chan used the multiple afterimage fist, hoping to win by relying on his skills. However, just when he used the afterimage fist to punch Tien Shinhan, he was hit by Tien Shinhan. Tien Shinhan pointed to his third eye and snorted coldly, "You can't escape my third eye." Jackie Chan looked at the third eye that was different from ordinary people and suddenly realized. So that's how it is, it's amazing, I have to take you seriously. As he said, Jackie Chan tore off his coat and faced the enemy. Tien Shinhan rushed towards Jackie Chan again. Although you are an old man, I can't be polite. At this speed, can you still see clearly? However, although Tien Shinhan's speed increased, he was still blocked by Jackie Chan steadily. When Tien Shinhan was surprised, Jackie Chan kicked him out with a backhand kick. Warm applause immediately broke out from the audience. Good job. As expected of the last champion, old and strong. This move is so cool. Tien Shinhan was knocked out, but suddenly stabilized his body. He was proud of his martial arts, but today, seeing the three masters of Kame Ryu, his mentality has collapsed. At this moment, he actually lost to an old man, how could he bear it? Tien Shinhan shouted angrily, and his strength increased a lot. The next moment, he rushed towards Jackie Chan. He punched Jackie Chan with great force and unwillingness. Jackie Chan felt the extraordinary power of the other party and treated it with caution. Different from the ethereal mystery of Goku and Chi-Chi's battle. Many viewers can see their fight clearly. The two of them fought like ordinary people, and their fists hit the flesh. The air was B*************G. The two fought for several rounds, and there was no winner, and finally they pulled away. Tien Shinhan was shocked. This old guy is so powerful. Although I don't know his origin, his strength is above that of Crane Immortal. Jackie Chan was also impressed when he saw Tien Shinhan. Good boy, he was safe and sound after being punched by me. His strength far exceeds my imagination. I can't refuse to admit my age. It seems that my era is completely over. The fierce battle continued, but the outcome was still undecided. Jackie Chan thought of the battle with Yamcha and Tien Shinhan's cruel methods, and felt a little sorry for his talent. It's a pity that such a martial arts genius has gone astray. He asked, "You have such great ability, why do you still follow Crane Immortal?" Tien Shinhan clenched his fists. "It's none of your business. If you dare to say bad things about my master, I will never forgive you." Jackie Chan smiled curiously. "What do you want to do to me?" Tien Shinhan showed a smirk on his face. "I'm going to be serious with you." Jackie Chan was shocked. "What? You didn't take it seriously just now?" Krillin lowered his eyebrows and said, "Why are you pretending? It's just so. Master Jackie Chan, beat him up." Chichi looked at Jackie Chan and then at Goku. Goku. I remember that Master Jackie Chan's strength is much stronger than mine. But today, when I saw Master Jackie Chan fighting, I felt that. Our 3 years of training have not been in vain, we have become so strong. Our strength has surpassed the old man by a lot. Quote. Son Goku nodded. Of course, hard work will always pay off, we have indeed become stronger. Chichi looked at the ring with some concern and said, it's a pity that Jackie Chan can't beat the Tien Shinhan. I hope he won't be crippled. Quote. Son Goku said. Don't worry, Bulma just saved Jiaozi, he should be more restrained. Quote. I hope so. At this moment, Tien Shinhan put his hands on both sides of his head and shouted. Solar flare. DBU. A dazzling white light suddenly burst out, blinding the whole audience for a short time. Jackie Chan was in the ring, and suddenly found that he had lost his vision, and he also shouted suddenly. Oh no, I can't see. While speaking, Tien Shinhan suddenly appeared from behind him and hit Jackie Chan's back of the head with a knee. Plop. Jackie Chan fell to the ground. Seeing such a wonderful combination of moves, the referee couldn't help but exclaim, what an amazing attack. It shows that a strong flash of light is released to seal a person's eyes, and then a fierce kick is made in the back of the enemy's head. Tien Shinhan stood firm and looked at Jackie Chan. Advertisement. Referee, come and count, I won. The referee immediately started counting. Jackie Chan hasn't stood up yet, start counting now, 1, 2. However, just after 5, Jackie Chan stood up rubbing the back of his neck. Ouch, ouch, that was too harsh, don't you know how to take care of the elderly? Tien Shinhan didn't expect him to stand up so quickly, and was also very surprised. The referee's countdown stopped immediately. He's up, worthy of being the champion of the previous session. Jackie Chan is up again. Salute to the elderly. Crane Immortal looked at Jackie Chan who stood up, and a trace of doubt flashed through his mind. That guy, why does he look so familiar? The back of the neck is a vulnerable part of the human body. He was almost fine after such a heavy attack, this person's strength is definitely extraordinary. Tien Shinhan asked. You are not an ordinary martial artist, who are you? Jackie Chan looked at Tien Shinhan seriously. Why don't you use your martial arts skills in the right way? Why did you go the wrong way? You are unworthy of your skills, break up with Crane Immortal. Leave your previous life path and come to this sunny world. Tien Shinhan did not get a reply, but received a lot of instructions. For a moment, anger surged in his heart. Just talk useless nonsense, if you don't stop, I will kill you. While speaking, Tien Shinhan attacked Jackie Chan again. Although Jackie Chan may not be as strong as Tien Shinhan at present due to his age. But his martial arts level is not worse than his, and it is not difficult to block his continuous attacks. While the two were fighting, Jackie Chan persuaded him to be kind. What's wrong? How come your powerful moves are not as sharp? Are you confused? Tien Shinhan was furious. What nonsense are you talking about? How dare you talk nonsense? Jackie Chan said. I don't have any life principles. I just advise you to get out of the darkness, so that you can laugh leisurely and enjoy the fun of the world in the future. Do you like to spend your life being hated by others like Crane Immortal? Just at this moment, Crane Immortal suddenly sent a voice message. I know, it's him. Tien Shinhan, this guy is Master Roshi in disguise. Tien Shinhan suddenly realized. Really? That's how it is. I said there couldn't be such an unknown but powerful old man in the world. Jackie Chan shrugged helplessly and said to Tien Shinhan. It's bad, he saw through it, but keep it secret from everyone. I can advise you not because I don't get along with Crane Immortal. I just feel sorry for your martial arts, it's not really advice. Tien Shinhan's mouth curled up. Thank you for your advice, in return, let me show you this. Jackie Chan suddenly became unserious. What, is it a photo album of beautiful women? Tien Shinhan suddenly broke his defense and cursed. Photo album. The next moment, Tien Shinhan's hands were in the shape of calyx and placed on his waist. That posture was clearly the signature move of Kamehameha. Jackie Chan was shocked. How is it possible? Krillin and Chichi, who were watching the game, were both shocked. It's Kamehameha. Krillin. No way, he learns things so fast, faster than me. The two realized at this moment that this guy is not simple. Yamcha only used Kamehameha once, and he blocked it. I didn't expect that he would learn it. Krillin said. I learned the Dongdong wave. But I learned it after watching Jiaozi perform it dozens of times. This Tien Shinhan is really quick-witted. Son Goku nodded. Yeah, he learns skills very quickly. Chichi looked at Tien Shinhan with disdain, and said to Goku. Goku is also very good. He learned flying technique after watching Jiaozi flying. In terms of learning, he is better than him. Krillin glanced at Chichi. Chichi, you are not bad either. It's only been a while, but you have learned flying technique, right? Now among the three of us, I am the only one who can't fly. Chichi covered his mouth and laughed. He, Krillin, if you want to learn, I will teach you. Krillin said disdainfully. Tisk, the group doesn't need you to teach. When Tien Shinhan performs flying technique in a while, I will definitely learn it. Okay, then I save my energy. At this moment, Tien Shinhan's Kamehameha was fully charged. He blasted towards Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan was shocked. Oh no. If I dodge, someone in the audience will die. As he spoke, Jackie Chan's muscles bulged and his hands came together. He blocked the Kamehameha. The ki blast refracted from Master Roshi's hand and rushed into the sky. The audience behind him breathed a sigh of relief again. Ah, I was scared to death. It was so close. Watching the game has become a high-risk behavior. The referee also began to give a wonderful commentary at this moment. It's so exciting. Tien Shinhan, who is a shocking Crane Sen Ryu, can also release Kamehameha of Kame Sen Ryu. It's so amazing. This guy is incredible. Seeing Jackie Chan's unbelievable expression, Tien Shinhan sneered. He, it's fun to see your surprised expression. That simple move, I can learn it just by looking at it. Let me see something new, so that I can become more powerful. Jackie Chan looked at Tien Shinhan with a sharp gaze and said, your skills are great, I am so happy. I am also very excited, I hope you can walk on the bright road and become an outstanding figure. Tien Shinhan said angrily, are you here to preach again? Jackie Chan walked to the edge of the ring and said, I have always been happy to see more young people in this world emerge. In this way, there will be successors in the martial arts world, and I can spend my old age in peace. As he spoke, Jackie Chan jumped off the ring. What? The host was also surprised. It's outside the arena. Jackie Chan jumped outside the arena. Tien Shinhan won. Tien Shinhan couldn't help asking, why did you admit defeat on purpose? Suru Immortal laughed sinisterly and said, what? I exposed his identity. He was afraid of being defeated by you and losing face. He is a coward. Coward. Tien Shinhan thought secretly and muttered. No, he hasn't used his full strength yet. Tien Shinhan turned around and saw Son Goku and Krillin watching the game backstage, and his pupils shrank suddenly. By the way, Jackie Chan is Master Roshi, and they are all disciples of Master Roshi, all disciples of this old man. A flash of lightning flashed through Tien Shinhan's mind. Not only am I stronger than my master, Master Roshi. The disciples of Kame Sen Ryu are far stronger than their master, Master Roshi. And, the strength of his 3 disciples is far above mine. So, Master Roshi didn't need to persuade me. There was no benefit in persuading me. His purpose of persuading me was really for my own good. Tien Shinhan's mood suddenly became heavy. Looking at Master Roshi again. He felt more and more that people like Master Roshi were not worthy of following. And Master Roshi is indeed a respected martial arts god and a respected master. The heart of repentance began to ferment at this moment. Chapter 79 The Courage to Fight. After Jackie Chan jumped off the ring, he found a place to take off his mask and changed back into his clothes. At this moment, Tien Shinhan walked up to him. Asked, why do you want to disguise yourself for this meeting? Master Roshi said calmly, it's very simple, it's for my disciples. They all want to win the championship in the world's #1 martial arts competition. Thinking that they are the strongest people in the world, such pride and complacency will lose their ambition. Young people are most likely to make this mistake. I want them to know that there are always people better than you. Tien Shinhan nodded. So that's the case. Then why did you step down again? Master Roshi said seriously, because I saw the results of my disciples' practice. They are not stupid, on the contrary, they are all excellent. Even after leaving me, they are still working hard to practice and never slacken. Their strength even far exceeds mine, but they are still working hard. So, it doesn't matter if they win the championship in this martial arts competition. I don't need to fight, I'm relieved. Changing the subject, Master Roshi turned his head and looked at Tien Shinhan. Of course, you are not stupid, you will not be a bad guy all your life. Tien Shinhan was stunned. What did you say? Master Roshi said. If not, why would you ask me the reason for the strike? Tien Shinhan seemed to have his mind exposed, and said angrily, I tell you, I want to be the world's #1 killer like Dao Bye. Master Roshi didn't listen to his nonsense, he had already tidied his clothes and walked towards the audience. Suddenly, he turned around and said, oh, by the way, I'll tell you a secret. In fact, if I continue to fight, I may lose. I'm going to the audience to watch the game. You do your best, I look forward to your good results. Hearing Master Roshi's words, Tien Shinhan looked puzzled. Don't you feel embarrassed? You actually admitted defeat. Without getting a reply, Master Roshi had disappeared. The game on the ring was still going on. Let's continue with the 6th match. Both contestants are Master Roshi's apprentices, Krillin and Son Goku. The winner will compete with Tien Shinhan of the Surusen Ryu. Please come on, Son Goku and Krillin. Son Goku and Krillin looked at each other and walked onto the stage together. The stand saw the 2 brothers coming on stage and burst into warm applause again. Come on, both of you. It's going to be interesting this time. Well, after looking around, the fights of Master Roshi's disciples are more exciting. Master Roshi is worthy of being the god of martial arts, teaching so many powerful apprentices. Sino heard people around her discussing how powerful Master Roshi's apprentices were. Krillin's name seemed to have been remembered by the audience, and she admired him more and more in her heart. Krillin really shines. Sino put his hands on his mouth like a megaphone and shouted to the ring, Krillin, come on. With the referee's order, the game officially began. The 2 were about to fight. Goku took the lead, and he rushed towards Krillin as agile as a monkey. Krillin responded quickly, and he flashed. Avoided the attack of little Goku, and counterattacked. The fists and feet of the 2 intersected, making a crisp collision sound. And the layers of sonic booms stirred up a cloud of dust. The audience was shocked by the fierce battle, they all widened their eyes. Held their breath, and were afraid of missing any wonderful moment. After a flurry of punches, the 2 interlocked their fingers and began a fierce battle. As the 2 exerted their strength, fine cracks suddenly appeared on the floor tiles of the ring under their feet. The gravity bracelets on their wrists reflected the sunlight, and there was a little glare in the sunset. Tien Shinhan felt more and more weird watching the two people fighting. Because their speed was not very fast. Not only could he keep up, but even the audience could barely keep up. But this was exactly the reason for the weirdness. He had 3 eyes, and his observation ability was much stronger than that of ordinary people. The floor tiles under the two men's feet actually had fine cracks. You know, that kind of marble bricks, unless they are hit by hard objects or bombarded by qigong. How could they be cracked by just stepping on them? Unless the force of the footsteps reaches tens of tons. But the ground under their feet was cracked, and Tien Shinhan suddenly felt that it was not simple. Their strength, can a punch have tens of tons of force? This is impossible. The audience cheered continuously as they watched the fierce battle between the two. Great. As expected of Son Goku and Krillin, watching this level of battle is a pleasure. The collision of strength and wisdom, the duel of courage and perseverance. This battle is wonderful. The two wrestled and there was no winner. Gathering strength again, they attacked each other fiercely. Pa pa pa, da 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 da. The two punched and kicked each other, and Krillin moved forward and backward in the collision. This kind of hearty battle made him more and more excited. The collision of fists and feet in the fight created layers of sound waves and brought up layers of smoke and dust. After fighting on the ground for dozens of rounds, the two jumped up together and reached the sky. Krillin curled his lips, put his hands on both sides of his head, and shouted, "Solar flare." In an instant, the white light was dazzling and illuminated the entire ring. It also temporarily made the audience lose their vision. Tien Shinhan was shocked when he saw this scene. I just learned their Kamehameha. But they learned my crane immortal flying technique, the whole wave. I didn't expect that even solar flare was learned. In this world, there are really people who are better than you, and there are heavens beyond heavens. When Crane Immortal saw Krillin use Tien Shinhan's solar flare, his pupils suddenly shrank. Damn, Master Roshi's disciples are stealing the skills very quickly. The audience was confused for a while, and countless people began to curse. Damn, this move is so disgusting. I can't see anything. No, isn't this a move from the Crane Sen Ryu? How come people from the Kame Sen Ryu can do it too? It turns out that there are so many geniuses in this world. They can learn moves just by watching them once. Damn, I'm blind for 10 seconds. I've missed so many exciting games. When Krillin performed Solar Flare, Goku forcibly blocked his eyes. Krillin seized this good opportunity and launched a series of attacks at Goku. Headbutt, sweep, hook, elbow strike, flash and follow up, dunk. Advertisement. A set of wonderful combo attacks directly dunked Son Goku outside the ring. Son Goku's body flew backwards. Everyone foresaw that Son Goku would be eliminated and fall out of the ring. However, when his body was about to touch the grass outside the boundary, he suddenly stopped. He was suspended in the air, looking up at Krillin, with a smile on his face. Hee hee, I didn't lose. Krillin shrugged. Oh, what a pity, they almost won. The audience gasped when they saw this scene. No way. Is this a duel between Kame Ryu's disciples? This seems to be a move from Crane Ryu, right? Yes, this is Crane Ryu's flying technique. Just now I saw Tien Shinhan learn Kamehameha, and now I am watching Son Goku perform flying technique. Is it as easy for them to learn a move as drinking water? They are really geniuses. Seeing Goku stop with flying technique at the critical moment, Crane Ryu was even more furious. Damn, don't you have your own moves? Why do you steal our moves? Seeing this scene, the referee couldn't help but join in the commentary. Oh, Krillin miscalculated. He wanted to throw Goku out of the ring. But Son Goku actually flew up with the flying technique at the critical moment. It was so exciting. Son Goku's figure flashed and he stood steadily on the ring. And Krillin was still in the sky. Son Goku put his hands on his waist, and his hands were in the shape of a calyx. Seeing this scene, the audience shouted, "Oh, Kamehameha!" Finally using their own unique skills. A dazzling blue-white light flashed between Son Goku's hands. Kameha! Son Goku shouted. A blue-white ki blast suddenly blasted towards Krillin in the sky. And Krillin did not give in at all. While Goku was accumulating power, he also performed Kamehameha. A golden Kamehameha shot towards Goku. In an instant, the two ki blasts suddenly collided with each other. The audience was shocked. Kamehameha and other moves are considered top-notch skills. However, it seems that no one has ever seen what this kind of Qigong fight looks like. This can be regarded as satisfying the curiosity of some people who love fantasy. The two ki blasts suddenly collided with each other, but there was no violent explosion. BDBC, the collision point of the ki blast suddenly became scorched. A sphere of energy suddenly gathered in the center of the Qigong output by the two. It seems that Goku's power is greater, and the sphere slowly approaches Krillin. A violent gust of wind was set off around the energy ball, spreading in all directions, and the audience seats became chaotic. Some people's wigs flew away, and some people's hats flew away. There was also a girl's skirt flying up, revealing a white thigh. Such a beautiful scene, but no one appreciated it. Everyone's eyes were forced to stay on the ring. As the energy ball continued to advance towards Krillin, it seemed that it was about to drown Krillin. Everyone's breathing also stopped at this moment. Snow clenched his fists and couldn't help shouting, "Come on, Krillin." The audience also clenched their fists tightly, expecting Krillin to create a miracle. It seemed that he heard the audience's voices, or heard Snow's cheers for him. Krillin shouted. At the moment when the energy ball was about to hit him, he suddenly disappeared. The energy ball had no back thrust and suddenly shot towards the sky. Turned into a ray of starlight, and flashed away. The audience was still looking at the sky, and suddenly heard a loud noise. Looking down, I saw Krillin appeared on the ring at some point. Goku still maintained the Kamehameha posture. Krillin headbutted Goku, and Goku was knocked back again. However, Goku only flew back a few meters and reacted immediately. He hurriedly did a few backflips, unloaded Krillin's power, and stopped his retreat. The next moment, Goku rushed towards Krillin. A series of moves, and Krillin was knocked back again. However, Krillin was not so easy to be defeated. After he withstood a wave of attacks, he counterattacked Son Goku again. The battle between the two was extremely exciting, with constant reversals. They showed wonderful martial arts, extremely high combat wisdom, and super reaction ability. The two continued to fight, and the audience burst into warm applause and cheers. Watching the strength duel between the two, Master Roshi couldn't help but admire. It's incredible that the two of them can reach this level with weights, which is much better than me. Bulma said proudly. How about it, isn't my invention also great? Master Roshi couldn't help but nodded. Yes, technology is advancing, and martial arts are also advancing. In the era when I practiced, there were not so many auxiliary things, at most I was carrying a heavy tortoise shell. Tien Shinhan was not far from them. When he heard Master Roshi say that the two were fighting with weights, Tien Shinhan's pupils shrank immediately. Wait, what do you mean by weight? Bulma looked at Tien Shinhan and didn't hide it from him. The weight is the bracelet on their hands. Once they wear it, they can withstand gravity that is multiple times greater than their own. Wearing it regularly helps to cultivate strength and speed. They have been wearing it for several years and are now used to nearly 10 times the gravity. Tien Shinhan was shocked again. What? 10 times the gravity? Tien Shinhan only understood at this moment why Krillin and Chichi fought so fast just now. And at this moment, why the two of them are so strong, but their speed is not too outrageous. I also understood why cracks appeared when they stepped on the ring. It turned out that they were fighting with weights, which was simply terrifying. Tien Shinhan's mind was completely shocked. Bulma had no intention of attacking Tien Shinhan. She realized that he was hit, so she turned her head and looked at him. Hey, Tien Shinhan, if you and Jiaozi can give up evil and turn to Master Roshi, I can also give you a gravity bracelet each. Tien Shinhan was silent. He didn't care about gravity bracelets. Rather, he saw the strength of Goku and Krillin, and saw a new height that he could not imagine in his heart. He just couldn't accept it for a while. At this moment, Bulma suddenly thought of something. By the way, you said your target is Dao Pai Pai, the world's #1 killer, right? Tien Shinhan was a little surprised, but nodded. Yes. Bulma waved his hand. Change the target. Is it because he is a bad guy? Tien Shinhan asked. Bulma explained. 3 years ago, Dao Pai Pai accepted the task of the Red Ribbon Corps to assassinate Goku. He was killed. He is dead. Your current strength should be stronger than Dao Pai Pai. Tien Shinhan's pupils shrank. What? Dao Pai Pai died. Master Roshi was shocked. Bulma, is what you said true or false? Bulma nodded. Of course it is true, he died under Karen Tower. In an instant, Tien Shinhan's goal, which he regarded as a myth, collapsed. He had a deep doubt about his life. At this moment, the result of the match was announced on the stage. Son Goku fell out of the ring, Krillin won. The audience instantly burst into applause and cheers. Krillin, it's wonderful. Both are great. It's worthy of being the world's #1 martial arts tournament, it's wonderful. Snow next to Bulma also jumped up happily. Great. Krillin. Bulma looked at Shenron who was so happy that she jumped high, and she couldn't help but feel a little happy. She secretly said, Goku is really different from his previous life. He can actually understand the beauty of helping others. As the applause and cheers faded, the referee walked towards Krillin and asked, the finals are coming up, Mr. Krillin, do you want to take a break? Krillin stretched his body and smiled. I don't care, I'm not tired at all. The referee nodded. As expected of Mr. Krillin, please don't leave. Next, the champion of the world's #1 martial arts tournament will be decided. Please invite Tien Shinhan to the stage. Tien Shinhan has been a genius since he was a child. Now he is participating in the martial arts tournament for the first time, and he is completely crushed by others. He is unwilling to accept it. I am the unruly Tien Shinhan, how could I not even have the courage to fight? Tien Shinhan looked at Krillin who was still wiping his sweat, and a fire of dissatisfaction ignited in his heart. After such a long and intense battle, and wearing a weight-bearing bracelet, you didn't even take a break. Although I know that I am not as strong as you, I also have the dignity of a warrior. Don't look down on me. We are both warriors, I want to see how much stronger you are than me. Tien Shinhan, who had mustered up the courage, walked onto the ring. Chapter 80. Kiss at the Martial Arts Conference. In the 22nd Martial Arts Tournament, only 8 out of 182 contestants from around the world passed the preliminaries. With further elimination, only 2 contestants remain in the finals. These are Tien Shinhan and Krillin. Who will reach the top of the world? The answer is about to be revealed. Jiaozi looked at Tien Shinhan and couldn't help asking Crane Immortal. Will Tianjin win? Crane Immortal was unsure, but still said, of course. As the referee said, start, the game kicked off instantly. Tien Shinhan said nothing and attacked Krillin fiercely. The powerful fist went straight to Krillin's forehead. However, Krillin didn't even make a start, just looked at him so calmly. This posture made Tien Shinhan even more angry. He used more force in his fist. Without any fancy moves, he punched straight up. Bang! Tien Shinhan's fist hit Krillin's head without any surprise. It actually hit. The audience couldn't help holding their breath when they saw this scene. Although the punch hit Krillin, he didn't move at all. Tien Shinhan felt that his fist was like hitting very hard steel, which hurt. What's going on? Tien Shinhan retracted his swollen fist. Krillin raised his head and looked at Tien Shinhan. With a wicked smile on his face. Your fist is too weak, I don't even need to dodge. Tien Shinhan was shocked. What? How is it possible? The next moment, Tien Shinhan became angry and rushed towards Krillin with a fist like a storm. However, Krillin still didn't move at all. Let Tien Shinhan's fist like a storm hit Krillin. But Krillin didn't move at all. Son Goku looked at Krillin like that, and in a trance, he seemed to see Satan, beating, in the original work. Cell's scene. Krillin did it on purpose, and it was full of mockery. In the eyes of the audience, it might be that Krillin was being beaten. But in the eyes of martial artists with strong martial arts skills, they all understood that Tien Shinhan's frontal attack was ineffective against Krillin. No matter how many punches Krillin received, there was no change at all, which was a manifestation of the huge gap in strength. Finding that the attack really couldn't hurt Krillin, Tien Shinhan retreated violently. At this moment, he was already a little exasperated, so he simply made up his mind. He gathered the aura on his body to his fingers, and with one hand, he fired a whole wave at Krillin. Krillin's eyes turned cold, and he blocked the whole wave with one hand. The whole wave touched his palm and set off an explosion. But Krillin was not hurt at all. There was not even a trace of redness on his palm. Even the whole wave was ineffective. Tien Shinhan panicked immediately. No, if he didn't need to hide, why did he raise his hand? Tien Shinhan seemed to show a hint of success at the corner of his mouth. He gathered energy again and pointed his finger at Krillin. Like the prince's fighting method, several holes burst towards Krillin. However, Krillin just waved his palm casually and easily blocked several holes. Without much effort, he resolved all the attacks of Tien Shinhan. The energy consumption of the party that launches energy is much greater than that of the defending party. Seeing Krillin unscathed, while Tien Shinhan was already exhausted and panting, a sense of despair surged into Tien Shinhan's heart. Seeing this scene, Suru Immortal was also surprised. His proud disciple Tien Shinhan has surpassed him. He never thought that Tien Shinhan could not even break Krillin's defense, which was simply embarrassing. Krillin had a wicked smile on his lips and slowly approached Tien Shinhan. Chichi and Goku were also surprised to see this scene. Chichi said, Krillin is such a bad guy, he even defeated Tien Shinhan. Son Goku also nodded and agreed. Yes, Krillin is being mean. It seems that he still remembers the fact that Tien Shinhan injured Yamcha. Chichi laughed. You guessed wrong, Goku. Krillin doesn't hold a grudge against that kind of thing, just look at the audience and you will understand. Huh. Following Chi-Chi's words, Son Goku looked at the audience. Goku saw the end of Krillin's sight at a glance. A little red-haired girl in the stands waved at him. Oh, it was his girlfriend Shinuo. Look at Krillin again. Son Goku suddenly realized. No wonder Krillin seemed to be possessed by the King of Force today, pretending to be as powerful as the wind, always accompanying him. It turned out that he was just showing it to his girlfriend. Tien Shinhan was frightened by Krillin's terrifying strength and lost his fighting spirit, and stayed on the spot. Krillin saw Tien Shinhan who had lost his fighting spirit, and he no longer had the interest to abuse him. He was as fast as lightning, and he flashed behind Tien Shinhan, and swept Tien Shinhan's neck with a whip kick. With a loud bang, Tien Shinhan flew backwards. And did not fall under the ring, but fell heavily on the ring. However, he lay on the ground with his eyes rolled back. He was unconscious. The referee was confused at this time. Krillin reminded. Referee, count down. The referee suddenly woke up and immediately ran to Tien Shinhan. 10, 93, 2, 1. Tien Shinhan failed to get up. Krillin won. I didn't expect that after 3 years, Mr. Krillin's martial arts improved so rapidly and won the championship in one fell swoop. The audience also burst into warm applause at this moment, and there were countless exclamations. Krillin, Krillin, so awesome. The gap between Krillin and his opponent is so huge, Krillin completely crushes his opponent. Advertisement. Making this finals not as exciting as the semifinals. That's right, whether it's the duel between Goku and Chi-Chi, or the duel between Krillin and Goku, they're all more exciting than this one. I have to say, Master Roshi's disciples are awesome. Yeah, except for Yamcha, who's a little bit weak in Kung Fu, the other three are so awesome. It must be Master Roshi's good teaching, because the three of them started long ago and learned a lot from their teacher. You make a lot of sense. The referee looked at the enthusiasm of the audience and responded, thank you for your wonderful performance. This world's #1 martial arts tournament is really wonderful. Thank you for your support. Bulma looked at Krillin on the stage, enjoying everyone's cheers, and was happy for him. I didn't expect that Krillin would be the first to win the martial arts tournament. Suddenly, Bulma saw a little Snow in front of her, looking at Krillin with admiration. It seemed that she wanted to share the joyful moment with him. Bulma remembered the agreement between Snow and Krillin, so she walked towards Snow. Hey, Krillin's girlfriend. Snow was startled and looked at Bulma. Bulma asked, didn't you promise him that you would marry him if he won the championship? He won the championship, why don't you go up and make him happier? Snow was startled, her face flushed, and then she buried her head deeply. It's Bulma. There are too many people, let's talk about it when there's no one left. Bulma smiled faintly, as expected, girls are all shy. There are really few people in this world who can be as brave as Chichi in the previous life. But she met one. Bulma patted Snow's shoulder and said, if you like him, take action early. Krillin is so outstanding, don't miss him. As she said, Bulma looked at other places in the audience. And continued, Krillin is now the champion of the martial arts competition. It just so happens that he is still very young, and it's a good time to get married. If you don't grab him. There are many young girls in the audience who admire his strength and want to try it. As she spoke, a blue-haired girl blushed, ran onto the stage with a bouquet of flowers and presented the flowers to Krillin. Seeing this scene, Bulma was also stunned. I just said it randomly, how come there are outsiders cooperating? In the previous life, Krillin was always single. Why is he so popular all of a sudden? But think about it, Krillin in the previous life was not so powerful, and he never won the world's first martial arts tournament. Even Goku won the martial arts tournament championship after he grew up. After hearing Bulma's words, Snow raised her head. Seeing that the blue-haired girl who gave flowers came off the stage. Fortunately, she was also shy, and gave flowers to Krillin but did nothing. The shy girl's heart disappeared in an instant, and she glanced around the ring again. And found that there seemed to be someone watching Krillin. At this moment, Snow finally felt a strong sense of competition. At this moment, Bulma patted Snow's shoulder, bent down and whispered to her, if you want to be shy, go home and be shy. Take down Krillin first, or he will run away. The shy little Snow nodded vigorously, then bravely climbed onto the ring and ran towards Krillin. There were no flowers, no words, just running towards Krillin. Krillin saw Snow running towards him, and a different kind of joy appeared on his face. The next moment, Krillin opened his arms and let Hongruo fall into his arms. Holding the girl tightly in his arms and smelling the fragrance of Snow's hair, Krillin felt so happy. Holding Snow tightly in his arms, Krillin saw Chichi and Goku waving at him backstage, and also winked at them. There is no need to thank good friends, but Krillin still silently said thank you in his heart. Thanks, Goku, now. At this moment, Snow, with a red face, didn't know where he got the courage, and swore his sovereignty in public. In front of thousands of audiences. Oh. From today, she is Klin's bride. The audience seats of the martial arts competition, which was about to end, were once again delayed for a moment because of the two of them. Everyone offered sincere blessings to them. The host also offered his blessings at this moment. Congratulations, Mr. Klin not only won the championship of the martial arts competition today, but also finalized the marriage with such a lovely girl. It's really a double happiness. Congratulations. Kiss, kiss. The audience saw the excitement and started to make a noise before leaving. Klin and Sino were both thin-skinned people. In the atmosphere set off by everyone, they also blushed. But when the atmosphere was there, they couldn't stop it. Little Sino looked at the countless audiences around her and felt warm in her heart. She looked at Klin, closed her eyes, and gently raised her head. The bright red lips flickered in the sunset. Seeing this scene, Bulma couldn't help but cheer. Krillin, kiss her, hurry up. The next moment, in the center of the martial arts tournament, under the attention of everyone, Krillin and little Shenron kissed each other. The audience burst into even more enthusiastic applause and cheers. Son Goku was also a little surprised to see Krillin and Shenron kissing so quickly. It was too fast. Krillin was still as shy as ever. But Shenron, who was a very shy girl in his impression, was quite proactive. Son Goku immediately offered his most sincere blessings to his good brother. Just as Goku was looking at Krillin and Shenron and grinning. A soft hug surrounded him. And then a warm touch touched his lips. Instantly, Goku's mouth felt like it was electrocuted. His eyes were not closed, and Chi-Chi's was also. He saw Chi-Chi's face close at hand, and his nose was filled with Chi-Chi's body fragrance. Under the slightly trembling eyelashes, a pair of big eyes looked at him with a hint of expectation. From Chi-Chi's pupils, Goku saw his silly look. And his cheeks turned red in an instant. Feeling Chi-Chi's warm arms and the deep love in her eyes. Son Goku also stretched out his not very long arms and hugged Chi-Chi. Feeling Goku's embrace, Chi-Chi's body trembled. Thinking that Goku finally took the initiative. He was very happy and deepened the kiss again. Bulma looked at Krillin and Snow's lingering appearance, with an ant's smile on her face. However, when he turned his head to look at Goku, he found that Chi-Chi was actually kissing him. And the two were hugging each other tighter and tighter, and the more they kissed, the more fragrant it became. Bulma melted in 10 seconds. Chi-Chi, you are going too far. Goku is still a child. Chapter 81. Bulma is upset. The audience of the martial arts competition finally dispersed. A group of people from the Kame Senryu gathered together. They all sent sincere blessings to Krillin and Shino. Krillin and Shino held hands, looking sweet. Bulma smiled and said, today Krillin has gained both fame, wealth and love. Not only did he win the championship of the martial arts competition, but he also got a beautiful woman. He is so lucky. What do you think? Let him treat everyone to a big meal. Everyone started to make a noise. Yes, Krillin, we need to treat everyone and have a big meal. Son Goku, I suggest we go to the biggest buffet. Chichi, buffets are not good, I'll eat hot pot. Yamcha, I think barbecue is better. Bulma looked at everyone. You guys, do you feel so sorry for Krillin? Why are you ordering all cheap restaurants? If I were to ask him, he would enjoy his life from now on, and he must bleed a lot of money. Why don't we let him take us to eat seafood cafe, how about that? Puer asked curiously. Master, I haven't eaten seafood cafe yet, it's very expensive, right? Bulma smiled and said, it's not expensive, the average cost per person is only 20,000. Hearing the average cost per person was 20,000, Shenron was stunned for a moment. Hey, are the prices in the city so expensive? Bulma smiled and said, Sino, it's so hard to leave your village. Let Krillin take you to eat something good. Don't feel sorry for him, he has money. Krillin nodded vigorously. Well, everyone has worked hard today. You can eat whatever you want. I'll pay. Sino counted on her fingers. If one person spends 20,000, 1, 2, 3. There are 7 of us, and the total cost is 140,000. Sino calculated and found that the consumption was quite high. So she immediately turned to ask Krillin. Krillin, I calculated, if one person spends 20,000, the total cost is 140,000. I remember Goku has a bigger appetite, doesn't it cost at least 200,000? Krillin smiled faintly and said, you, 967, don't know Goku's appetite at all. His appetite is more than that of a few people. Well, let me think about it. At least he can eat more than 50 people. What? Sino was shocked and looked at Goku, a little unbelievable. Really? Goku, can you really eat that much? Son Goku nodded honestly. Ha 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 ha, yes, I have a better appetite. So I suggest eating buffet, I don't mind the lower grade, as long as I am full. Nuo scratched her head, she remembered the scene 3 years ago, after destroying Masruda, when everyone went to his house for dinner. Obviously so many meals were cooked, and a pot of rice was added, but in the end there was no leftovers. At that time, she knew that Goku had a big appetite, but she didn't expect it to be so big. She thought Goku ate all the food cleanly because he respected her cooking. Today, Krillin said that Goku's appetite is 50 times that of ordinary people. Nuo realized that Goku may not have eaten enough after eating so much that day. Nuo calculated it according to the cost of the seafood restaurant, but it was still conservative. If it was based on Goku's appetite, then he would have to spend 1 million for a meal. She took a breath of cold air suddenly. Although I don't quite understand the concept of 1 million here, seafood is not that expensive. It's just fish, shrimp, crab, abalone, scallops and the like. Although their village is a little backward and there are not many seafood to eat, they can still eat it in the summer. Snow thought that it should be the high-end restaurant that Bulma mentioned that is expensive. In their village, her family doesn't seem to be bad, and they can eat meat all they want for every meal. Even so, her father probably can't save 1 million in 10 years. Even if he buys 2 pigs, it's only a few thousand yuan. Both the elbow and the ribs are delicious, no worse than seafood. She thinks that if you can eat a few thousand yuan, there is no need to spend 1 million yuan on seafood. It's a waste of money. Or if you really want to eat seafood, you can buy it yourself and cook it yourself. Snow thought for a while, looked at Krillin, and asked in a tone of suggestion, Krillin, it's a waste of money to eat such expensive food in a restaurant. How about we go eat something else? If everyone likes seafood, let's go to the seafood market to buy some seafood, and I'll cook for everyone. I've been cooking since I was a child, and everyone trusts me. I can cook delicious and clean. Bulma was slightly surprised to see that Snow, a very shy person, actually said so much in front of so many people to save money. She couldn't help laughing and said, Yo, little Snow hasn't even married yet. She has taken on the role of Krillin's wife so quickly, and has already started saving money for him. Krillin really picked up a treasure. Krillin smiled foolishly when he heard Bulma's words, and didn't say anything. Snow blushed and lowered her head shyly. Others looked at her embarrassed look and laughed. And Chichi looked at Snow's frugal appearance, and unconsciously had a better impression of her. Krillin doesn't eat much, so Shenron only needs to consider this one time. But she is different. If she marries Goku, every meal will cost millions, and even if she has a mountain of gold, it won't be enough. She looked at Bulma and suggested, Bulma, why don't we go back to Kame House first? Bulma was curious. Why? Chichi said. I suddenly thought of one thing. Goku has such a big appetite. After I marry him, I can't go to restaurants every day. I must learn to cook as soon as possible. There is a big seafood market on the island where we used to practice. We can go there to buy ingredients and then go to teacher Wu Tian's house to cook. It's just right that I can help Shenron and learn to cook by the way. As she said that, Chichi looked at Shenron and cast a kind look. When Shenron heard what Chichi said, she secretly breathed a sigh of relief, fearing that because of her frugality just now, Krillin would be embarrassed and his friends would look down on him. Seeing Chichi's gaze, Shino became more friendly to her. Bulma smiled and said, it turns out that little Shino can cook and seems very confident. She will definitely be an excellent wife in the future. Well, I just happen to dislike the unclean food in restaurants and don't like eating out. Let's go back quickly. Everyone nodded. Okay. Suddenly, Krillin noticed something unusual. Hey, that's not right. Why is Master Wu Tian gone? Chichi looked around and didn't see Master Roshi. Hey, yeah, I seem to have seen him just now. How come he disappeared a while ago? Where did he go? Yamcha scratched his head. Is he afraid of disturbing our dinner conversation, so he secretly went to the toilet? Goku asked curiously. To the toilet. Teacher Mutin left the scene after the battle with Tien Shinhan. Shouldn't have to disguise himself and change clothes back and forth, why would he pretend to go to the toilet? Yamcha didn't understand what Son Goku meant, nodded and said, you don't know, he ran to the toilet when we came today. And he kept running to the toilet during the competition. After all, he is old, I guess he is a little uncomfortable these 2 days. Knowing that Teacher Mutin was not there, Son Goku suddenly frowned. He remembered that in addition to the world's first martial arts competition today, there was something big happening. If nothing unexpected happens, Piccolo Daimyo's subordinate Danbalin will come to the martial arts competition to snatch the competition list, and then kill the martial artists according to the competition list. Advertisement. With the strength of Krillin and Chichi now, he is not worried about their safety at all. But it would be bad if Master Mutin faced Danbalin. Although Master Mutin's martial arts skills would not kill him instantly. But he is so old and careless at ordinary times. He might fall in a life and death battle. Son Goku immediately said, Yamcha, don't run around here, I'll go find him. Bulma, Krillin, you two take everyone on the plane, don't walk around, so that I can find you together. I'll find Master Mutin and bring him back immediately, and we'll go back together. Okay, let's do it. Bulma and Krillin nodded. After that, Goku left the crowd and ran towards the backstage of the martial arts tournament. Seeing Goku's back, Bulma immediately noticed that Goku was uneasy. Usually, Goku would not say a few words for a long time. He only practiced and ate. Today, he actually took the initiative to arrange the itinerary, which was abnormal. Thinking of today, Bulma's eyes suddenly flashed. I said I forgot something. Piccolo Daimyo was born. She recalled the scene of her previous life. It was on this day in her previous life, after the martial arts tournament. Goku showed an uneasy look. As a result, Krillin went to help him get the Rui rod, and was killed by Danbalin. Bulma remembered it very clearly. That day, Goku saw Krillin die, and went to Danbalin like crazy to seek revenge. Master Roshi almost tried his best to stop him, but he didn't stop him. However, in this life, Krillin is very strong, and his companions did not leave the crowd. Except for Master Roshi, no one would be in danger. Bulma clenched her fists and wanted to say something. But seeing that everyone was there, and Chichi and Krillin, who had extraordinary martial arts skills, were there, as long as no one left, their safety would be guaranteed. For the safety of everyone, they simply followed Goku's arrangement, found a wide place, opened the airplane capsule, and took everyone on the plane. There were plenty of seats on the plane, and they were also comfortable. There were music, snacks and drinks. Everyone relaxed in the chairs, listening to music, chatting and eating snacks. Krillin and Shenron sat together, eating snacks, each with an earphone, and listening to songs together, looking very comfortable. Yamcha and Puer also closed their eyes and lay on the chairs with their eyes closed. Chichi leaned on the window seat alone and looked at the scenery outside the window. There was an empty seat next to her. Bulma knew that the seat was reserved by Chichi for Goku. Bulma looked at the harmonious scene on the plane, but she felt uneasy. She prayed in her heart. I hope Goku can find Master Roshi in time and don't let him get killed. Just as Bulma was praying anxiously, a voice interrupted her thoughts. Hey, Bulma. Bulma turned her head. It's Chichi, what's wrong? Chichi patted the seat next to her. Bulma, come here. Bulma sat next to Chichi with a curious look on her face. What's wrong, Chichi? Chichi leaned close to Bulma's ear and said embarrassedly. Bulma, are you angry with me? Bulma blinked and asked in confusion. Angry with you, why? Chichi bit her lower lip shyly and whispered. Bulma, I didn't mean it, really. What? Bulma was still confused. Chichi whispered. At that time, I saw Krillin and the others kissing on the ring, I was so envious. Goku and I have known each other for such a long time and have never kissed each other. I really couldn't help myself for a moment. Don't worry, Bulma. You will take charge of the matter of marrying Goku in the future. We will be a family with Goku in the future. I will never play tricks on you. Let's get along well and love each other, okay? Bulma couldn't help but twitch her eyelids when she heard Chichi say such a thing. What was I doing at that time? Are you talking about the kiss with little Goku just now? Chichi nodded. What's wrong? I feel that you have been uneasy since Goku went to find Mr. Mutin. Aren't you thinking about this? Seeing Chichi's expression, a relaxed smile appeared on Ma Xiaoding's face. Bulma said. Chichi, as long as you can be as gentle and kind as you are now. As long as you can make Goku happy all the time, I will be happy. If Goku is happy, I think our whole family will be happy. Chichi nodded. Well, I have thought about it, I will be a good wife in the future. I will do our housework and cook for me. I will definitely take good care of Goku. Bulma smiled like an ant, touched Chi-Chi's head. And said earnestly, Chi-Chi, we are so familiar with each other, I will tell you straight. You also know that my family is the richest in the world. My parents only have 2 daughters, me and my sister. So, you don't have to worry about money in the future, my father has a lot of money in the capsule company. Even if it is divided equally with my sister, it is enough for us to spend several lifetimes. If we have children in the future, we don't have to worry about the children's schooling and work. At worst, let him inherit the capsule company in the future. Even if the child doesn't have that brain, it can be arranged to be a senior executive casually. In addition, there is no need to consider as for Goku's work, our family doesn't need that kind of money. You just need to be nice to Goku and let him practice well, okay? Chichi didn't react for a while when she heard what Bulma said to her. Her focus seemed to be wrong. How many lifetimes of money can you spend? How much money is that? Goku can eat so much, can he eat for several lifetimes? Bulma looked at Chi-Chi's dazed expression and nodded. Well, let's put it this way, my dad has a lot of savings now, even if we don't count the daily profit, the daily interest alone can make millions. Quote. Chi-Chi was shocked. What? The interest earned every day is more than several million. Is your father so rich? Bulma nodded. Yes, he is very rich. In short, Goku will never go bankrupt even if he eats a lot, and the more he spends, the more he will eat. Chi-Chi was still calculating, and suddenly 4.8 thought of something and asked again. By the way, Bulma, do you think that my and Goku's children will be as good eaters as Goku in the future? Bulma was stunned for a moment, and then she understood. Chi-Chi's cognition is still not enough, and she can't understand how capital makes money at all. Until now, she still thinks that eating a lot can make the richest man poor. However, it will take a lot of effort to correct this cognition for her, and Bulma chose not to interfere with her cognition. So Bulma directly answered her verbal question, and said, of course, appetite can be inherited. Our and Goku's children, even if they are not as good eaters as Goku, will probably have half of his appetite. But don't worry, leave the money to me. With me, our family will never lack money. Chichi gave Bulma a thumbs up. Bulma, although you don't know martial arts, you are more powerful. Bulma smiled and said, don't let your imagination run wild. You must practice hard in the future. Don't be left behind by Goku, otherwise I won't play with you. Chichi nodded. Well, I've been working hard. By the way, Bulma, I remembered someone. Who? Chichi whispered. Is your sister Tai's long past the marriageable age, but still unmarried? Hearing Tai's, Bulma sighed, looked at the sky and thought, yes, I almost forgot about her. She is a person who floats in the universe every day. She has met so many people that she may be dazzled. Now she concentrates on writing novels and has long stopped considering getting married. Even my parents don't urge her. Bulma suddenly realized that something was wrong and immediately asked, Chichi, why are you asking her? Chichi thought for a while and said, Bulma, I think it's not a good idea to split the capsule company in the future. Why don't you persuade your sister to marry Goku? What if your sister gets lonely one day and marries an alien and divides our property? That would be terrible. Chapter 82 Visitors from the Temple. Hearing Chi-Chi's stupid suggestion, Bulma looked at her in disbelief. Chi-Chi also looked at Bulma wisely, as if asking for her opinion. The clarity and stupidity in her eyes made Bulma's mouth twitch. Bulma's heart was in turmoil, and she thought to herself, Chi-Chi, are you crazy? In my previous life, I thought you were a little less stubborn than normal people. In order to revive everyone, I, a weak woman, was not afraid of life and death. I traveled many light years to Namek to find the Dragon Ball. But you actually let Gohan take a bag of homework with him. Now I'm reborn. Seeing that you have a hard time, I agree to marry Goku at the same time as you. But you also want to arrange for my sister. I really want to find out what's in your little head. I'm so scared. In the future, among the three of us in our family, I won't be the only one with a brain, right? Woohoo. I'm so tired. Quote. Bulma complained to herself for a long time, but didn't say a word. Chi-Chi's eyes were still clear and stupid. Seeing that Bulma didn't answer her, Chi-Chi continued to ask. Bulma, what's wrong with you? Isn't my idea great? Bulma smiled bitterly. Chi-Chi, don't worry about this kind of thing. I've already said that you can leave the money to me. Oh, okay, I'll listen to you. You're the smartest. Goku and I will listen to you in the future. Just when Bulma wanted to return to the driver's seat, there was a sudden exclamation. Hey, look outside, it looks like a magic carpet. Poorer exclaimed. The man on it looks so funny. 13. Everyone looked in the direction of the voice, and Bulma also looked outside the plane. Mr. Popo was standing outside the plane on the magic carpet. Bulma was startled. Why is he here? Everyone on the plane walked out of the plane and looked at Popo, who was walking on the magic carpet. Popo greeted everyone politely. Hello everyone, I'm Popo. Quote. Bulma walked towards Popo and asked. Hello, what can I do for you? Popo's magic carpet landed smoothly on the ground. He glanced at everyone. Two bright eyes stayed on Chichi and Krillin's faces for a moment, and finally looked at Bulma. Let me introduce myself. I am a servant of God. I came here to see you for something. Everyone was surprised to hear that Popo was a servant of God. Servant of God. Servant of God riding a magic carpet. Snow looked at Krillin and asked. Krillin, is there a God in this world? Krillin thought. How can a servant of God have something to ask for? He is not a liar. Popo ignored everyone's doubts and said to himself. The God has been observing the human world in the temple. Today, we also saw the wonderful scenes of the world's #1 martial arts meeting. It surprised the God in me that such a powerful martial artist appeared in the human world. As he said, Popo looked at Chichi and Krillin. Chichi and Krillin were slightly stunned. The servant of God actually praised them. They were flattered and lowered their heads shyly. Krillin whispered to Snow, this person should be telling the truth. Snow nodded. I guess so. Bobo continued. However, a few days ago, a disaster occurred in the world. Piccolo Daimao, who once pushed the whole world into darkness, was reborn. Yamcha was stunned. Piccolo Daimao. Snow. Krillin, you know, I seem to have heard of this name. Krillin's eyes condensed, and a look of horror appeared on his face. When I was in the temple before, my abbot mentioned Piccolo Daimao. Everyone looked at Krillin. Even Bobo looked at Krillin. It would be best if someone could popularize science. Klin continued. 300 years ago, there was a Piccolo Daimao who turned the world into a terrifying hell. He was a sinister and vicious guy, and his skills were so strong that no one could compete with him. He and the monsters he created turned the peaceful world into a death abyss in an instant. But later, I don't know how, he disappeared. The world has restored peace. Hearing Klin's introduction, everyone else's eyes showed deep fear. Sino also covered her mouth in surprise. She couldn't believe it. She had just found a perfect husband like Klin, and the world was about to end. Isn't this too miserable? For a moment, she held Klin's hand tighter. Klin also held Shinuo's hand hard, indicating that she was relieved, and then looked at Popo. Mr. Popo, the Piccolo Daimao you just mentioned, is it the same person as me? Popo looked at Klin and nodded. Yes, you are right. Krillin asked again. Then why did you ask us to come? Are you here to help us? When everyone heard this, hope was immediately ignited. Chichi also asked for everyone. Yes, you just said that you are a servant of God, and you are here to help us eliminate Piccolo Daimao. With God's help, we will be saved, right? Popo shook his head. According to observation, the strength of your top martial artists is already fully capable of defeating Piccolo Daimao by yourself. According to my inference, there are at least 3 people in this world who can defeat Piccolo Daimao, and you account for 2 of them. Bulma understood what Popo meant as soon as he heard it. The 3 people he was talking about must be Goku, Chichi and Krillin. Now that Goku is not here, the most powerful martial artists on the plane are undoubtedly Krillin and Chichi. The others all looked at Krillin and Chichi. Chichi pointed at herself in surprise. Those 3 people, are you talking about Goku, me and Krillin? Popo nodded. Yes, so I came here to ask you for something. Bulma immediately asked. What is it, tell me quickly. Popo said. To save time, please don't interrupt me when I say anything, you will understand after listening. Everyone nodded. Popo said. To become a god, there must not be a trace of evil in your heart. And Piccolo Daimao is actually a trace of evil thoughts separated from the god when he was training. In short, Piccolo Daimao and the god are actually the same person. What I want to ask you is to defeat Piccolo Daimao, please don't kill him. Because, if Piccolo dies, the god will die. In addition, the Dragon Ball made by the god will turn into stone forever, and all hope in the world will be cut off. Humanity cannot lose the god, otherwise terrible things will happen. So this matter, I ask you. Others were surprised that the god and Piccolo were actually one. But Popo proposed that Dragon Ball was also made by the gods, and everyone gasped. It turns out that Piccolo Daimao and the gods are split from one person. It turns out that Dragon Ball was actually made by the gods. Oh no, my brain is going to grow, it's so itchy. Almost everyone here knows something about Dragon Ball. Advertisement. Sino has personally experienced the power of Dragon Ball. If it weren't for Dragon Ball, her family would be buried forever. If it weren't for rescuing Snow's family, Krillin wouldn't have met such a good girl like Snow. If Goku and Bulma hadn't searched for Dragon Ball together and came to the Flame Mountain, Chichi wouldn't have met Goku. They all have an indissoluble bond with Dragon Ball. No one else spoke. Bulma immediately stood up and put forward opinions on behalf of everyone. Okay, Mr. Popo, I agree with your request. Popo was stunned for a moment. Can you represent everyone? In an instant, everyone else nodded. I agree with Bulma's opinion. I agree too. We all agree with Bulma's opinion. Quote. Seeing the united efforts, Bobo's eyes were filled with tears of gratitude. Thank you, thank you. Bobo looked at everyone and said, although your strength is already very strong. Yet your martial arts realm is still not enough, and your spiritual cultivation is insufficient. To thank you, after you defeat Piccolo Daimao, you can come to the temple through Kalen Tower. At that time, I can continue to teach you to practice, so that you can go further. Quote. With that, Popo bowed to everyone, and then flew away on the magic carpet. After Goku left Bulma and the others, he hurried to the backstage of the martial arts tournament. However, the backstage was empty. Son Goku breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, it seems that Danbalin didn't come. At this moment, a cry for help came from not far away. Son Goku's eyes flashed, and he quickly rushed over. A moment later, Son Goku saw the referee lying on the ground, and there were several unknown martial artists lying on the ground. Basically, there was no breath. A poster with the word magic printed on it slowly fell. Son Goku glanced at everyone and did not find the 110-year-old came. At this moment, the referee raised his head and shouted, yes, it's Son Goku. Son Goku was stunned. It's the referee, you are still alive. The referee said weakly, there is a monster, he stole the list of participants in the martial arts tournament, and killed so many people. I heard his goal, he wants to kill all the contestants. Easy's. The referee coughed a few times, spat out a mouthful of blood, and his breathing became rapid in an instant. The blood stain on his back was stained red, and it was still spreading. Son Goku quickly flipped through his bag and stuffed a senzu bean into his mouth. Eat it quickly. The referee thought he would die here, but after he ate the senzu bean, his injuries healed instantly, and he didn't feel any pain at all. Ah, son, what did you give me to eat? It's amazing. The referee looked up and asked. However, the referee who raised his head found that in just a few seconds, Son Goku's figure had disappeared. The referee asked curiously, did Son chase the monster? No, I didn't tell him, that person is too powerful. It's too dangerous for him to go alone, so many martial artists are not the opponent of the monster. The referee clenched his fists tightly. Suddenly, the referee thought of something. No, Son is different from the others. He is so powerful, he will definitely defeat the monster. He will definitely save the world. Goku left the backstage of the martial arts tournament and kept looking around. But there was no trace of fighting around, and there was no movement, it was very quiet. Has he left? But where did Master Wu Tien go? Son Goku flew into the air with the flying technique and shouted in all directions, Master Wu Tien. After shouting a few times, there was still no response. Son Goku scratched his head. The teacher is not in the toilet, right? Suddenly I don't want to look for him. Just at this moment, Son Goku sensed a slight fluctuation in the air in the distance. It seems that someone is fighting. Speaking, Son Goku flew in the direction of the sense. Chapter 83 Shock. Destroy Danbalin with one move. At a certain intersection, Master Roshi looked at Tien Shinhan with a serious face. You have completely parted ways with Crane Immortal. What are your plans for the future, or where are you going? If you are willing, come to my house, I am very welcome. Tien Shinhan shook his head. Teacher Wu Tien, I appreciate your kindness. Although I betrayed my master, Jiaozi and I are still disciples of Crane Immortal. I was so cruel to Yamcha, I really can't go to you with a thick face. Master Roshi said. Don't mind, everyone may make mistakes in the past, as long as you repent. Yamcha used to rob, but now he has changed. Quote. Tien Shinhan shook his head again. No need, Teacher Wu Tien. I have already thought about it. Jiaozi and I will live somewhere else in the future. Quote. Master Roshi said with some regret. Really, since you have your own arrangements, I won't force it. Anyway, your strength is better than mine, and I have nothing to teach you. If you have no place to stay, remember to come to Kame House to find me. Quote. Okay, no problem. Then Master Wu Tien, let's go. As soon as the voice fell, a fight suddenly came from the distance. Master Roshi, Tien Shinhan and Jiaozi all looked into the distance. What sound? Tien Shinhan's eyes fixed. That's the direction where Master Crane Immortal left. Quote. Jiaozi said. Did the master fight with others? Master Roshi snorted coldly. Does Crane Immortal do bad things normally? Tien Shinhan did not answer, but said, Teacher Wu Tien, he is my master after all, I will go to see. You don't have to follow, let's say goodbye. As he said, Tien Shinhan and Jiaozi ran towards the direction of the fight. Master Roshi looked at Tien Shinhan and Jiaozi who were going away and nodded slightly. It's great that this child can change. Suddenly, a scream came from a distance, which seemed to be Crane Immortal. There are not many people in this world who can kill Crane Immortal. Master Roshi felt something was wrong and immediately chased in the direction where Tien Shinhan left. However, when he arrived, he only saw Crane Immortal's body. He lay on the ground with his eyes open, as if he died with unwillingness and fear. And in the sky, Tien Shinhan was fighting a green monster with wings. Just then, a poster with the word, Mo, slowly floated in front of Master Roshi. Mo. In an instant, a flash of lightning flashed through Master Roshi's mind. The long-lost horrible memory appeared before his eyes, and a trace of cold sweat appeared on his forehead. Kill the monster and leave the monster. Could it be? Piccolo Daimao from more than 300 years ago came out. Master Roshi looked at Tien Shinhan and Danbalin again. Seeing Danbalin's green scales, the long-lost memory became clearer. Master Roshi murmured. It seems that the strength is about the same as Tien Shinhan. That should be the child of Piccolo Daimao. It seems that Piccolo Daimao is really born. Damn it, it's terrible. At this moment, Tien Shinhan was hit by a move and flew out. Master Roshi suddenly felt bad. It was okay for masters of this level to spar. But if it was a life and death battle, the victory or defeat might be in a moment. He wanted to help, but he couldn't fly, so he really couldn't fight in the air. Master Roshi looked at the sky and stamped his feet anxiously. If only I could fly. Just when Master Roshi was anxious, Tien Shinhan's figure froze. Master Roshi breathed a sigh of relief. Not bad. At this moment, a crisp voice suddenly came over. Tianjin, get out of the way. Master Roshi looked closely. I saw Jiaozi floating in the air, pointing a finger at Danbalin, and a charged whole wave shot towards Danbalin. Tien Shinhan and Jiaozi were in good sync. The moment he heard the sound, he dodged sideways. The whole wave suddenly hit Danbalin, causing an explosion, and the billowing smoke and dust submerged Danbalin. Jiaozi and Tien Shinhan's eyes lit up at the same time. Hit. Did it succeed? Master Roshi also hoped that his attack would work. The two were looking at the smoke, when suddenly a beam of light shot towards Jiaozi from the smoke. Jiaozi was startled, and he wanted to dodge, but he couldn't keep up with the speed. Tien Shinhan wanted to rescue, but he couldn't get through the short distance of a few meters. Jiaozi. Instantly, the light penetrated Jiaozi's body. Jiaozi groaned miserably, and his hat fell to the ground, revealing only a strand of hair. The small body also fell to the ground. Tien Shinhan was shocked and immediately rushed to Jiaozi and caught him before he hit the ground. Jiaozi, how are you? Seeing Jiaozi's injury, Tien Shinhan breathed a sigh of relief. The light penetrated Jiaozi, but it seemed that his heart was not injured, so he could still be saved. Jiaozi, hold on. After killing him, I will take you to the hospital. Jiaozi suddenly raised his thin arms. Tianjin, heart, quote. Tien Shinhan looked up. He saw Danbalin opened his mouth. And a key blast shot out from his mouth and shot towards the two of them. This Danbalin seemed to know that villains die because of talking too much, so he was extremely ruthless. He didn't give him and Jiaozi any time to linger, and the fierce attack didn't stop at all. Oh no. Tien Shinhan saw the attack coming. He wanted to hide. But Jiaozi was lying on the ground, and he would die if he hit Jiaozi. Helplessly, he could only raise his arm to block the key blast for Jiaozi. With a loud bang, Tien Shinhan was wrapped in smoke and dust. After the smoke and dust dissipated, Tien Shinhan's arm drooped down. And it was still bleeding, obviously seriously injured. Danbalin was a little surprised. What, he didn't die after taking a hit from my magic light cannon, but was just injured. He flipped through the list of participants in the world's first martial arts competition. And soon saw Tien Shinhan's avatar. Oh, so his name is Tien Shinhan, no wonder he's so strong. So he's the second place in the martial arts tournament, he's really quite capable. Danbalin put the list away again and said with a smile, don't worry, I'll send you to death right now. As he said that, Danbalin flew towards Tien Shinhan and punched him with all his might. The moment his fist didn't touch Tien Shinhan, Master Roshi flashed over. He kicked Danbalin's waist from the side and kicked him out. Tien Shinhan was startled. Master Wu Tien. Master Roshi shouted. Tien Shinhan, you're injured, take the dumplings and leave quickly, leave this to me. Tien Shinhan retorted. No, how can I leave you alone to deal with him? Master Roshi couldn't help but scold. Go quickly, I'm much stronger than Suru Immortal, so I won't be beaten to death by him. You go quickly, the two wounded soldiers staying here will affect my output. As he spoke, Danbalin burst into laughter. Ha ha ha, humans are so naive, don't you want to run? I will kill all the martial artists who have some skills, don't waste your energy. As he said that, Danbalin opened his big mouth and fired another mouth cannon at Tien Shinhan. Master Roshi's muscles bulged instantly, and his clothes burst open in an instant. His hands directly formed a calyx shape, and a fish Kamehameha fired at Danbalin's mouth. A violent explosion sounded, raising a cloud of dust. A breeze blew, and the smoke and dust dissipated without a trace. Danbalin was shocked again. He flipped through the list of the martial arts competition, frowned and said, it's so strange, it seems that you are not on the list. How can there be such a powerful guy like you in this world? Danbalin looked down at the body of Crane Immortal again. Advertisement. That guy is not on the list either, and he is also very powerful. It seems that there are many powerful martial artists in the human world. I have to talk to the big devil, we can't just kill those on the list. There are only more than 180, killing these martial artists is far from enough. Master Roshi wiped the sweat from his forehead, stared at Danbalin. Seriously said, you guy, even if you risk my life, I will never let you go back alive. Danbalin laughed. Quadruple A, you old man are really interesting, you still want to kill me, you are dreaming. Go to hell. While speaking, Danbalin opened his mouth again. A beam of colorful energy shot towards Jiaozi and Tien Shinhan. Master Roshi was shocked. He didn't expect that this guy was not only very skilled in martial arts, but also extremely vicious. He actually aimed at the wounded, which was impossible to dodge. Danbalin's moves completely took advantage of human weaknesses. How despicable. If he blocked this attack, he would not be able to fight this monster. However, at this time, Master Roshi had no time to weigh the pros and cons. He immediately flashed in front of Tien Shinhan and Jiaozi, condensed his breath in his palms, and crossed his hands together, trying to use his breath to block the attack. Seeing that Master Roshi was going to block the skill for him, Tien Shinhan hurriedly urged him to get out of the way. Master Wu Tien, get out of the way. However, since Master Roshi decided to save him, how could he leave? Seeing that Master Roshi was going to get hurt for him, Tien Shinhan, who had already injured an arm, immediately rushed in front of Master Roshi to block the attack. Master Roshi's pupils shrank. Tien Shinhan was in this state, and he had not gathered much energy at all, and he could not resist such a powerful move. Master Roshi finally pulled a misguided martial artist into the right path. However, as soon as he brought him to the right path, he was facing death. Master Roshi couldn't bear it. He was old and should have retired from the ranks of martial artists. Only outstanding young people like them were the hope for the future. If possible, he would rather die with his old bones than sacrifice young people. But, fate seemed to be like this. Tien Shinhan insisted on dying. He couldn't react at all, and he was no longer able to save him. Master Roshi's heart flashed with a lonely regret, as if he had aged 10 years in an instant. At this moment, he thought of Piccolo Daimyo's rebirth. He realized that Danbalin was just a small character created by Piccolo Daimyo. Whether it was him or Tien Shinhan, as long as they had eaten their fill and recovered their condition, it would not be difficult to deal with him. Goku and Krillin should have an easier time dealing with him. The real powerful one is Piccolo Daimyo. That is not an opponent he could imagine. Without Master Mutato, it seems that this world is in danger. Tato. Mafuba. Master Roshi's expression suddenly brightened. No, I can't die. I should be the only human who can use Mafuba. For world peace, my old bones that are about to be buried can shine for this world once more. Master Roshi made up his mind and chose to give up saving Tien Shinhan. He wanted to escape and then prepare the sealing tools. His death could not be worthless. He wanted to seal the great demon king. At this moment, the attack was about to hit Tien Shinhan. Just when Tien Shinhan closed his eyes and prepared to bear this attack honestly, a small orange figure suddenly appeared in front of him. He just waved his hand lightly, sweeping towards the energy wave. It was impossible to describe what kind of move it was. It seemed that the heaven and earth would be torn apart by that hand knife. And the whole world was eclipsed by that simple hand knife. The energy wave was immediately swept away by the hand knife and fell on the ground. After a burst of explosion, the ground was again stirred up by rolling dust. Such a move was actually knocked away by someone, and Siba was surprised. Quote. Who is it? Master Roshi and Tien Shinhan were also surprised, and they inadvertently revealed a touch of joy on their faces. The two said in unison, Goku. Son Goku turned around and looked at Master Roshi, Tien Shinhan and Jiaozi. Although Tien Shinhan and Jiaozi were injured, it was obvious that they were both in good spirits and not dead. Grandpa Turtle, I don't think I'm late. No, it's just in time. Son Goku walked towards them, and said, Are Jiaozi and Tien Shinhan injured? Here are some senzu beans for you, eat them quickly. Son Goku took out 2 senzu beans. Master Roshi recalled that Goku had knocked away the energy bomb with his bare hands. And then he realized that Goku was very powerful, far better than him. He could kill that monster. He immediately told him, Goku, don't worry about us. That guy is very powerful and mean, go and kill him. It's okay, eat them quickly, I know. After Son Goku gave the senzu beans to Tien Shinhan, he didn't care whether they ate them or not. But turned back to look at Danbalin. Danbalin was stunned for a moment, flipped through the list of duels, and suddenly laughed again. Hey, the third one is here this time, Son Goku. Ha 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 ha, masters come one by one, I'm lucky, I caught another one. It just so happens that you are all my targets, let's all, Zhao, die together. As he said that, Danbalin rushed towards Goku and punched him with a strong wind. Son Goku's eyes turned cold, and his figure disappeared in an instant. Danbalin suddenly pounced into nothingness. Where is he? In the moment of his astonishment, Son Goku had already appeared behind him. Without a word of nonsense, Goku directly kicked him with a whip kick. This kick came with a strong wind. Danbalin's body was like a watermelon, and it exploded in the waist with a bang. The green blood rain was sprinkled all over the ground, and he was dead immediately. Kill instantly. The upper and lower parts of Danbalin's body fell heavily to the ground. His eyes were still open, full of astonishment and fear. It seemed that he had never expected that as the son of Piccolo Daimao, he could be killed so easily by a human. Whether it was Tien Shinhan, Master Roshi, or Jiaozi. They were all shocked and their scalps were numb the moment they saw this scene. They found that they could no longer understand Goku's power. Such a powerful monster was kicked to pieces by Goku casually. Master Roshi thought that if Tien Shinhan was in good condition, he could also defeat Danbalin. He himself suffered from the loss of not being able to fly. However, seeing Goku kill him was as easy as crushing an ant. At this moment, Master Roshi realized that, unknowingly, Goku had grown to such a terrifying level. Goku was too strong. That kick just now was too shocking. Perhaps, even Piccolo Daimao was not his opponent. While the two were still shocked, Son Goku suggested, Master Mutant, everyone is hungry. Bulma said she would take everyone back to Kame House for dinner, I will take you back first. Eat. No, this is a life and death crisis, you are still thinking about eating. The two looked at Son Goku. Oh, well, you are strong, you don't seem to be afraid of this. Master Roshi and Tien Shinhan nodded in astonishment at the same time. Okay. Chapter 84 The Tragic Pilaf Trio. Above the white clouds, Pilaf's flying boat was slowly floating forward. The elderly Piccolo sat on a chair, playing with 6 golden dragon balls in his hands. If you find 7 dragon balls, you can make any wish come true, he. Pilaf, Xiaowu and Ash looked at Piccolo Daimao with flattering faces. Pilaf nodded and agreed. He, that's right. Xiaowu, Your Majesty the Great Demon King's wish must be to conquer the world, right? Old Piccolo laughed. Ha ha ha, do you need to use Dragon Ball to conquer the world? He clenched his wrinkled fist and said, What I want is immortality. As long as I can achieve this wish, the world will be under my rule forever, ha 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 ha. Hearing old Piccolo's wish and looking at old Piccolo's ugly and scary face, Pilaf, Xiaowu, and Ash each broke out in a cold sweat. They didn't want to release this guy, and they didn't want to surrender to others. Originally, the 3 of them had a beautiful dream of ruling the world and had already collected 6 Dragon Balls. However, even when they were fishing in the sea for Dragon Balls, they were still very busy. Ball accidentally picked up a rice cooker. I thought there was some treasure, but I didn't expect to release this terrifying monster. Now, they are really in a dilemma. Pilaf saw that the world he was about to get was going to be given to him, and he was very unwilling. But they had no other choice but to try their best to get some benefits. Pilaf complimented. Piccolo Daimao's ideal is really interesting. I worked hard to find the rice cooker of the King of Sealing. And resurrected you in this air base. And told you the secret of Dragon Ball, and gave you 6 Dragon Balls. Hearing Pilaf talking about his contributions, Piccolo's eyes turned cold and looked at him. What do you want to say? Being glared at by that look, Pilaf's hair stood up immediately. No, it's nothing important, just 2. Considering that we have made so many contributions, can you give us half of the world, he. Seeing Piccolo Daimau's fierce expression made the Pilaf trio's hair stand on end again. Pilaf could only keep lowering his demands. Give me 1/3 of the world. No, 1/4 is fine too. Under the pressure of old Piccolo, the 3 people's clothes were soaked by the water. Old Piccolo continued to play with the 6 Dragon Balls in his hand. He said, I will consider it, but there is still 1 Dragon Ball missing and it cannot be used. You are quite good at collecting Dragon Balls, help me find them back as soon as possible. The 3 of them nodded. Yes, we will definitely find them for you soon. At this moment, old Piccolo was suddenly startled. His face was instantly ugly, and his forehead was covered with sweat. Then he began to breathe heavily. DX. Seeing Piccolo Daimau's abnormality, the bird people were shocked. What's wrong, Lord Demon? Old Piccolo said in disbelief. Danbalin is dead, incredible, what happened? The bird people were also shocked. What, Danbalin is dead? Is there anyone in this world who can defeat my demon warriors? I'm so angry, how could this happen? Old Piccolo clenched his fists tightly. Pilaf said. Such a powerful guy, this world does not exist, are you mistaken? Old Piccolo shouted. Can you explain why he died? The 3 Pilafs were so scared that they trembled and dared not continue. Piccolo Daimau smashed the armrest of the chair and said angrily, although I don't know who did it, I want to let him know what will happen if he dares to resist me, Piccolo Daimau. It seems that I have to use more physical strength to give birth to a stronger warrior. As he said that, old Piccolo was about to lay eggs. The Birdman subordinate immediately stopped him and said, Sir, for your health, you must not overconsume your physical strength. If there is anything, you can wait until you regain your youth. The Birdman subordinate is also the son of old Piccolo. But he is not a combat warrior, but a human nanny. His duty is only to take care of Piccolo Daimau's daily life. He is more concerned about the health of old Piccolo. Old Piccolo breathed a sigh of relief after hearing the advice of the Birdman subordinate. Then, he swallowed 6 Dragon Balls into his mouth and looked at the Pilaf trio. No, I can't wait too long. You guys hurry up and find the Dragon Ball for me, the sooner the better. The 3 of them were nervous again, and Pilaf's desire to survive came up. He immediately said, Sir, the radar has searched for the signal of the Dragon Ball. We will definitely find the last Dragon Ball soon. Old Piccolo asked. Oh, have you got the signal of the Dragon Ball? Deg. The 3 nodded. Yes, sir, the Demon King. Old Piccolo raised 3 fingers. Well, I'll give you 3 days to find the Dragon Ball for me. Pilaf was shocked. 3 days, isn't it too little? Xiao Wu immediately said. It took us 3 years to collect 6 Dragon Balls. Old Piccolo said. Your efficiency is too slow, I don't want to wait too long. How about this, I will give birth to another flying demon warrior, and go with you to find the Dragon Ball. Hearing that he was going to create a demon warrior, Pilaf and the other 2 immediately covered their mouths. They had seen old Piccolo lay Danbalin, which was simply disgusting. He was afraid that if he vomited, he would displease the great demon king. Although he didn't like to see eggs, he looked very happy when Pila Jin put it in his mouth. The great demon king is really considerate of his subordinates. It's so convenient to have a flying warrior to go with us to search for it, and to be able to search the cliffs at will. Maybe 1 day is enough. The Birdman's subordinates immediately stopped him. No, great demon king, you will consume your energy if you lay eggs again. This will accelerate aging, and you may die before you rule the world. Old Piccolo shook his head and said, it doesn't matter. After my calculations, even if I have another child, I can hold on until I find the Dragon Ball and restore my youth. The Birdman was relieved to see that old Piccolo was not in a momentary state. Old Piccolo thought for a while, collect the Dragon Ball warriors, and give birth to a dragon-shaped warrior. As he said, old Piccolo began to gather strength. After a moment, he vomited out an egg with green sticky liquid. Then old Piccolo gasped hard. The Birdman's subordinates saw that he was not in a good condition and asked with concern, Are you okay, Lord Demon? Nothing. Then, old Piccolo began to speak to the egg. Come out, your name is Simbaru. Damn. The egg began to crack in an instant, and then it was stretched open by the green monster inside. The monster grew bigger and bigger, and in the blink of an eye it became a 3-meter tall dragon monster with a pair of wings on its back. Advertisement. Old Piccolo looked at Simbaru. Simbaru, your mission is to lead them to help me find the last Dragon Ball, understand? Simbaru nodded. Yes. Then Simbaru looked at the Pilaf trio. And asked. Do you want me to lead you 3 to find the Dragon Ball? Pilaf looked at the tall Simbaru, and his legs went limp with fear. He would be scared to death if he sat on the back of Simbaru, this monster. He immediately explained. No, the radar is on the flying boat, I am responsible for observing the radar. You just need to lead my men to find the Dragon Ball. And then I will contact my men to confirm whether the direction is accurate, which is more efficient. Then, Pilaf looked at Ash and Xiao Wu. Pilaf said. Ash, you go with Mr. Simbaru to find the Dragon Ball, hold the phone. I will contact you at any time and guide you. Quote. Ash's anus tightened, and he immediately retorted. No, no, Master Pilaf, I'm afraid of heights, have you forgotten? Pilaf immediately turned to look at Xiao Wu. Then, Xiao Wu, you go. Xiao Wu also wanted to find an excuse not to go. However, old Piccolo just glanced at the three of them. Xiao Wu was so scared that she dared not refute, and could only nod helplessly. Simbaru did not hesitate and lay on the ground. Xiao Wu endured the fear, took the communicator given to her by Pilaf, and climbed onto Simbaru's back carefully. Simbaru said, you can hold onto my dragon horn firmly, but don't fall down. It doesn't matter if you fall to death, but they will be punished for wasting the time of the great demon king to recover his youth. Xiao Wu was shocked and immediately responded, I know. As she said that, she grabbed the horns of Simbaru. But, we can go. Soon, Xiao Wu hurriedly rode Simbaru and flew towards the direction of the last Dragon Ball. On Bulma's plane, I'm back, Goku is back. Chichi, who was guarding the window, saw Goku's figure and immediately shouted. Everyone also looked out the window. Goku brought Master Roshi, Jiaozi and Tien Shinhan to the plane together. Krillin saw Master Roshi and said in surprise, that's great, Master Wu Tien, it's great that you are okay. Master Roshi was stunned, you all know. Everyone nodded. Chichi said, yes, we all know. A gentleman named Shengen came and told us about Piccolo Daimao. Quote. Son Goku was curious. Mr. Shengen, who is that? Bulma wiped the sweat from his forehead. Chichi is wrong, it's not a Shengen, it's a servant of God. Servant of God, he's like Popo. Popo. Son Goku was obviously stunned. Bulma nodded. Yes, in addition to telling us that Piccolo Daimao has come out, he also told us the origin of the great demon king. Everyone on the plane knows it, and you listen to me from now on, and you must not act on your own. Quote. Son Goku, Master Roshi and Tien Shinhan all nodded. Soon, Bulma told Goku and others what Popo said. The most crucial point is that Dragon Ball is bound to Piccolo's life. Master Roshi and Tien Shinhan were obviously shocked when they heard this. They digested it for a while. Son Goku already knew the inside story and didn't have too many emotional fluctuations. He himself didn't think of killing Piccolo Daimao directly. He was alive, Dragon Ball could exist, and the benefits outweighed the disadvantages. However, this old Piccolo was the embodiment of pure evil. It seemed that he abused the egg-laying function, and his lifespan was shorter than that of the gods. He wouldn't live for a few years if he was locked up. The best way was to let him give birth to the second generation of demons like in the original work, and then send him to the West. However, what surprised Goku was that he didn't need to use his brain to do anything. Because Bulma had already arranged it for him. In order to help him find Piccolo Daimao, he also prepared Dragon Ball radar. After eating and drinking, he rested for another night. At dawn the next day, Goku took the radar and rode the somersault cloud. And flew towards the only Dragon Ball shown on the radar. As for why there was only one, it was simple. The remaining 6 were in Piccolo Daimao's stomach, Goku knew it very well. However, there was no news in the world that the demon warriors were looking for Dragon Balls to kill people. So it was not normal for Piccolo Daimao to have 6 Dragon Balls. So, Goku thought that it was basically Pilaf and his gang who had gone through a lot of hardships to get these 6 Dragon Balls. Goku had already thought of the hardships that Pilaf and his gang had suffered. And they were finally able to get all the Dragon Balls, but ended up making clothes for others. Bulma's radar was extremely accurate, and the somersault cloud was also running at full speed. After 2 hours of rushing, Son Goku accurately found the trace of the Dragon Ball on a cliff. Son Goku followed the instructions of the radar and came to the bottom of the cliff. Seeing the messy stones on the ground almost piled up into a mountain, Son Goku frowned. He looked up at the mountain and instantly deduced why the Dragon Ball was deep in the rubble. It seems that the Dragon Ball fell under this cliff a few years ago. And then because of heavy rain or other reasons, a cliff broke. And fell under the cliff, broke into rubble, and buried the Dragon Ball. In short, it is not easy to find it now. Goku sighed. Why did it fall in such a place? It's really troublesome. Just at this moment, a woman's voice came into Son Goku's ears. Son Goku immediately stepped back, hid and secretly looked over. I saw Xiao Wu from the Pilaf trio. And a dragon-shaped monster looking for something. That monster is undoubtedly Simbaru. Xiao Wu is holding a communicator and talking on the phone. Master Pilaf, are you sure it's in this area? I see. It would be a great help if you can be more precise. Sir Simbaru and I will start looking now. After saying that, Xiao Wu hung up the phone and began to carefully help me. Simbaru is huge and strong. Under Xiao Wu's command, he kept helping to move stones. Sir Simbaru, it's here. Dig deeper. The Dragon Ball should be deep in this pile of stones. After saying that, Simbaru started to move stones again. Seeing them moving stones to look for the Dragon Ball, Son Goku decisively retreated to the shade. He looked at his Dragon Ball radar and then at Xiao Wu's position. Son Goku secretly sighed. I have to say that the radars made by Pilaf and his team are getting more and more accurate. They also brought a strong Simbaru to work. It's great. In this case, let them look for it. Son Goku's goal is not the Dragon Ball, but Piccolo Daimao. When they find the Dragon Ball, they will definitely return. Son Goku just needs to follow and he can easily find Piccolo Daimao. Chapter 85 Piccolo doubts about life. On Pilaf's flying boat. Great Demon Lord, the last Dragon Ball has been found. They are on their way back now. Pilaf received Xiao Wu's message and immediately told Piccolo Daimao the good news. Old Piccolo couldn't hide his joy and laughed. Ha 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 ha. That's great, I'm about to regain my youthful vitality. The Birdman's subordinates were also very happy. Great, it was found so quickly. Great Demon Lord, you are really amazing. Ashu smiled and said, as long as the Great Demon Lord regains his youth, he will be even more invincible. Quote. Pilaf and Ash flattered old Piccolo. They seemed to see Piccolo Daimao regain his youth. The three of them were separated into a corner, and from then on they had only a happy life. Please give me flowers. Please give me a monthly ticket. Soon after, Xiao Wu and Simbaru came back. Xiao Wu respectfully presented the last Dragon Ball, and then ran to Pilaf's side. It was too stressful to be around old Piccolo. Old Piccolo pinched the last Dragon Ball with 2 fingers, and his happy face had more wrinkles. It was so smooth to get all 7 Dragon Balls, ha 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 ha. Speaking, old Piccolo looked at Pilaf. What is the ritual to summon Shenron? Tell me quickly. Pilaf immediately said, put the 7 Dragon Balls together. And then shout, come out, Shenron, and make my wish come true. Shenron will appear, and then you just need to make a wish. Old Piccolo nodded and asked again, is it that simple? The Pilaf trio immediately nodded in unison. Yes, it's that simple, Piccolo Daimao. Old Piccolo smiled. Very good, then land, I'm going to summon Shenron. Soon, Pilaf drove the flying boat and landed on the ground. Piccolo and others also got off the flying boat. Old Piccolo opened his mouth and spit out all 6 Dragon Balls. The 7 Dragon Balls gathered together and immediately emitted a golden light. Sinbaru's eyes lit up immediately when he saw Piccolo Daimao was about to summon Shenron. However, just as the summoning ceremony was about to begin, a figure suddenly appeared in front of everyone. Who else could it be but Son Goku? When Simbaru saw Son Goku, he immediately became furious. Who is this? He suddenly appeared in front of us. Do you want to die? Son Goku ignored him, and his eyes did not stay on Simbaru, but looked directly at Piccolo. His height and body size were half that of an adult, which gave people a sense of oppression. He did not look like a good person. However, Piccolo had too many wrinkles on his body. Son Goku could clearly feel the strong aura of death emanating from him. It seemed that he would die of aging in a few days. Son Goku was also curious about what he had done in the past few days. He actually squeezed his life so dry. The Pilaf trio were all shocked to see Son Goku coming here. Pilaf stepped forward and yelled, hey, kid, why are you here? This is not a place you can come to. Pilaf raised his thumb and pointed at Piccolo Daimao beside him. Saying, do you know who this is? He is the terrifying and invincible Piccolo Daimao, why don't you get out of here? Old Piccolo couldn't help but raise his mouth when he saw the figure of little Goku. Hee, kid, you actually came when I gathered the Dragon Ball. Are you trying to snatch the Dragon Ball from me? Son Goku shook his head. No. The response did not meet Piccolo's expectations, and he choked for a while. Son Goku said honestly, I'm not here to find the Dragon Ball, but to kill you, Piccolo. Old Piccolo was stunned for a moment, and suddenly burst into laughter. Ha 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 ha, ha 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 ha, it's so funny. You know my name, but you dare to come and kill me, humans really overestimate their own abilities. Simbaru, kill him. Yes, Lord Demon. When Pilaf and the other 2 heard Piccolo ordering Simbaru to kill, they immediately shrank aside in fear. Simbaru suddenly jumped and attacked Goku. Son Goku looked at old Piccolo without looking away. And casually raised his hand, pointing his palm at Simbaru. In an instant, an inconspicuous gas bomb suddenly blasted towards Simbaru. And Simbaru exploded instantly, and nothing was left. The violent explosion also set off a breeze, leaving nothing behind. Everyone was stunned on the spot, and for a while they didn't react to what happened. The next moment, Piccolo Daimao covered his head with both hands and roared in pain. Ah, damn it, you little devil, you easily killed my demon clan's war king in front of me. Son Goku continued. Piccolo, my goal is not only him, but to kill you. What did you say? Kill me. You are too arrogant. As if thinking of something, old Piccolo's pupils shrank. Could it be? Could it be? Dambaron died in your hands. Son Goku nodded. Yes, don't be so surprised, killing him is just like crushing an ant. Hearing that he killed Dambaron, old Piccolo suddenly became angry. He tore off his cloak and said, you are so hateful. Even if I don't have much time left, I will let you taste the horror of me, Piccolo Daimao. As he said that, old Piccolo shouted and attacked Son Goku fiercely. The sharp claws stabbed towards Goku silently, and the anti-Buddha pavilion instantly pierced Goku's heart. However, after old Piccolo made a move with confidence, the figure of Son Goku in front of him disappeared instantly. He dodged, but old Piccolo didn't notice. His thoughts stagnated for a moment. The next moment, Son Goku appeared above him again, and old Piccolo's hand was like a bayonet, stabbing at Son Goku. Unfortunately, even though he was so fast that countless afterimages appeared, he couldn't touch Son Goku. The next moment, Son Goku kicked old Piccolo in the stomach with his backhand. Old Piccolo's eyes suddenly bulged out, covered with fine red cracks, and his mouth opened wide. Then, old Piccolo's body shot out backwards, smashing a large piece of rock. Old Piccolo's body was buried in the rocks and billowing smoke. Son Goku didn't intend to kill him, so he didn't hit him hard, he just waited for him to come out by the rubble. Seeing this scene, Pilaf and the other two were shocked. Oh no, after 3 years, has Son Goku become so powerful now? Question mark. Piccolo Daimao won't lose, right? Ash turned to look at Pilaf and asked. King, do you think we still have time to escape now? When Xiao Wu saw Son Goku beating up Piccolo Daimao, her face immediately showed admiration. She immediately covered her red cheeks with her hands, compared to Piccolo Daimao. I still think it's better that Son Goku won. The way he beats people is so handsome. Pilaf looked at her immediately after hearing Xiao Wu's words. However, from this perspective, Pilaf happened to see Xiao Wu behind her, with 7 Dragon Balls neatly tied around her waist. A bold idea suddenly came to Pilaf. Pilaf whispered. Xiao Wu, Ash, while they are fighting. Let's steal the Dragon Ball and hide it far away to summon Shenron, right? Xiao Wu and Ash were stunned for a moment, and both looked at the Dragon Ball. Xiao Wu said. My lord, these 7 Dragon Balls were found after 3 years of hard work, and they should have been ours. That's right, Xiao Wu, Ash, go quickly, and be sure to be quiet. Ash and Xiao Wu looked at each other, and then immediately tiptoed towards the Dragon Ball. Son Goku hit Piccolo into the rubble, and soon there was movement in the rubble, and Piccolo walked out of the rubble. He looked at Son Goku, recalling the terrifying power of his kick, and at this moment he couldn't help but tremble in his eyes, his pupils kept shrinking, and he had doubted his life. Damn, what's going on? I've only been asleep for 300 years, how could such a powerful guy appear in the world? Seeing Son Goku standing there easily and confidently, Piccolo suddenly had an idea. Hee, I have to admit that you are very powerful. But no matter how powerful you are, you will definitely not dare to withstand this move of mine. Son Goku scratched his head and asked back, oh, Piccolo, are you using provocation? It was obviously a little kid, but he easily broke his thoughts. Advertisement. Old Piccolo was shocked and cold sweat immediately broke out on his forehead. VR. Just as Piccolo was about to say something else, Son Goku replied. Okay, in order to make you give up, show your trick. The corners of Piccolo's mouth immediately showed a slight arc. He immediately gathered his strength, and the golden aura continued to gather towards his palms. And the muscles all over his body also bulged slightly. Almost all the strength of the body was concentrated in his hands, and the corners of the old Piccolo's mouth finally showed a cruel smile. Go to hell. As he said, the old Piccolo pointed his palm at Son Goku. A wave of energy suddenly hit him. Boom. After a violent explosion, Son Goku was submerged in a sea of smoke and dust. Old Piccolo finally couldn't help laughing. Ha 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 ha, ha 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 ha, idiot. You definitely won't survive if I hit you head on with this move. At this moment, a strong wind blew away the smoke and dust. Son Goku appeared, spotless and unharmed. He looked at Piccolo and asked, hey, what are you grinning about? Old Piccolo was startled again. What? How is this possible? He looked at the unharmed Son Goku, then lowered his head to his hands. And said in disbelief, damn it, I am old, but my strength has dropped so much. Even the strongest charged attack couldn't hurt Son Goku at all. Old Piccolo seemed to have finally realized the reality that he couldn't beat him. He couldn't help but clench his fists, and roared to the sky. Dragon Ball, our Dragon Ball. I won't give up. If I can get the Dragon Ball earlier, if I can restore the power of youth. I Piccolo Daimao will not be defeated. After roaring, K covered his chest and gasped. Son Goku's eyes lit up. Want to lay eggs? Do I need to avoid it? However, Piccolo Daimao just gasped a few times and returned to normal. The fight just now seemed to involve his lifespan, and his energy dropped again. Son Goku frowned. I was just teasing him casually, he wouldn't be so angry, right? The child hasn't been born yet, don't die. Son Goku couldn't help but pray. At this moment, the sky that was originally clear was suddenly covered with dark clouds, lightning and thunder. Old Piccolo was startled, looked up at the sky, and asked, why is it suddenly dark? What's going on? Son Goku explained. Oh, that's the Dragon Ball you mentioned. Shenron will be out soon. If you want to make a wish, you can try it quickly. I won't stop you. If you are late, the wish will be used up by them. Old Piccolo's eyes lit up. What? You asked me to make a wish. Do you also want to see my power in my prime? Goku nodded and said, even if it is, you have to go quickly. Old Piccolo was very surprised and flew towards the direction of the lightning secret book. Among the countless thunder and lightning, a golden light snaked into the sky, forming a dragon shape, and Shenron's body slowly became clear. At this moment, Son Goku also followed. Shenron completely unfolded his body, lowered his head and said to Pilaf and the other two. Tell me your wish, any wish can be fulfilled. Pilaf was overjoyed and immediately said, Shenron, please let us rule. Before he finished speaking, an energy wave suddenly blasted towards them from the side of Shenron. Pilaf stopped talking halfway. The three of them also saw a wonderful scene at the same time, that is, Shenron and death came at the same time. That kind of energy wave, they can't bear it. As long as it hits them a little, they will be directly scattered. ... Oh. The approach of the energy bomb made the three people foresee their own death at the same time. The three of them felt a strong sense of unwillingness at this moment. Pilaf. I was too careless, I knew I should have been farther away. Ash. Why didn't I run a few more steps? Woo, I'm going to die. Xiao Wu. Woo woo woo, why are we always so unlucky? Just when the energy bomb was about to drown the three people, an orange figure suddenly appeared. It was Son Goku. He casually waved his hand knife and casually knocked the energy bullet away. The energy fell on the rock and formed a small depression. The three of them took a deep breath when they saw this scene, and were glad that they survived. The three of them also began to wonder why Son Goku saved them. Xiao Wu's eyes suddenly flashed with wisdom, as if she had thought of the answer. Her face suddenly turned red. Master Pilaf, he just saved us. Do you think he is in love with me? Pilaf and Ash were shocked. Ash said, Xiao Wu, I forgot that you are a woman. Pilaf looked at Son Goku in disbelief, then looked at Xiao Wu. And said, you know what, it is possible. Xiao Wu, King Kun treats you well, right? After Pilaf said this, Xiao Wu immediately understood. And said, Master Pilaf, what are you talking about? You are always very good to me. Pilaf rubbed his hands and said, then, if you become his woman in the future. Don't forget the organization. You must help us find the Dragon Ball in secret. Xiao Wu nodded immediately. Master Pilaf, I will never forget you. At this moment, old Piccolo also came to Shenron. Just now, he saw Son Goku saving these three fools with his own eyes, and a strong disdain flashed in his eyes. It was a waste of effort to save these three useless guys. However, Son Goku stood in front of the three people. And old Piccolo didn't think about them anymore, they were just three wastes. Killing or not does not affect his sharing. His only goal at this moment is to restore youth. Old Piccolo looked at Shenron and piously asked, please let me restore my youth, okay. Shenron's eyes lit up red, and a mysterious power descended on Piccolo. In an instant, old Piccolo's body crackled. The wrinkles on his skin disappeared, and he regained his smooth green skin. Piccolo couldn't help laughing. Ha 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 ha. I feel the energy growing, I am full of vitality. So cool. After completing old Piccolo's wish, Shenron said, your wish has come true, so goodbye. After that, Shenron smoothly turned into a golden light and drilled into the Dragon Ball. And then the 7 Dragon Balls were scattered all over the world again. Son Goku looked at him intently, as if wondering why he didn't kill Shenron. He remembered that Piccolo killed Shenron immediately after fulfilling his wish. Then the god resurrected Shenron, and Shenron's CD was restored immediately. If he hadn't killed Shenron, those who died would have to wait a year to be resurrected. Piccolo turned around and looked at Son Goku. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to regain my youth. To repay you, I will use my strongest power to kill you 5. Chapter 86. Repaying the favor of saving my life with my own body. After old Piccolo regained his youth, he looked very confident, just like Vegeta who had just come out of seclusion. Son Goku hooked his finger at him and said, come on, I've been waiting for you for a long time. Before he could finish his words, Piccolo rushed towards Son Goku at an extremely fast speed and punched him hard. That kind of power and speed made Piccolo, who had just regained his youth, feel terrible. He felt that his punch could destroy a small town. An energy wave could destroy a city. No matter how strong this kid was, he would die on the spot under such a powerful punch. However, after such a powerful punch, the scene he expected did not appear. The powerful fist was actually blocked by Son Goku at this moment. His chubby little hand actually clenched his fist. Piccolo wanted to pull out his arm, but found that Goku was holding him too hard and he could not shake it at all. Piccolo was shocked. What's going on? How could this happen? He had just regained his youth and made a move, and he doubted himself. Impossible, absolutely impossible, you can't catch my moves. Son Goku looked at Piccolo. What's wrong, Ri Lu Ling, are you doubting your life? Did you find that even if you regained your youth, you are still not my opponent? Piccolo was still trying to pull back his arm, and the expression on his face was particularly wonderful because of the effort. Son Goku let go of his hand, and Piccolo suddenly pulled his arm out. And then immediately retreated, pulling away from Son Goku. A drop of cold sweat appeared on his forehead, and he asked, are you a human being? How can there be a guy like you in the world? Son Goku looked at him indifferently. You keep chattering like this, and you are still a big devil. Are you trying to chat with me to delay time? Sorry, I'm not very good at chatting. Besides, you are too weak to arouse my interest in fighting. If you don't have any other skills, I can kill you. Piccolo said angrily. Damn you, you damn human. You hurt my self-esteem in this way, I will never forgive you. Piccolo took a deep breath and said, although I know this will shorten my life, but you forced me to do it, and now I have to use all my strength. Quote. Son Goku looked at Piccolo Daimao with interest. He took a horse stance, and all his muscles were tense. His aura was also rising at this moment. And his blood vessels were bulging, and his green skin made him look ferocious and terrifying. As the strong aura continued to gather on him, the earth also shook in an instant. A moment later, Piccolo's aura reached a new height. He raised his arm with a grin, and suddenly waved it towards Son Goku. In an instant, a violent gust of wind blew towards Son Goku. In an instant, it was like a 12-level gale, instantly tearing Goku's whole body with force. However, even so, Son Goku still stood there motionless. His aura floated on the surface, and this gale could not hurt Goku at all. Only the flying dust in the sky demonstrated how strong Piccolo's slap in the air was. The gale dissipated. Son Goku nodded. Said, well, indeed, after using the secret technique. It is a little stronger than before. What is this move? Piccolo laughed. Hee hee, are you still pretending to be calm? Do you think I can consume my life and just increase my strength a little bit? Son Goku responded. Isn't it? For you, it may be that the strength has doubled or even several times. But for me, there is no difference between the strength of an ant and several ants, I can't feel it. Piccolo's pupils shrank. Damn it, you dare to say that I, Piccolo Daimao, am an ant, too arrogant. As he said, Piccolo Daimao punched Son Goku angrily. Let you taste my real power. Piccolo's punch hit Son Goku's forehead with lightning speed. Son Goku stood there motionless. Sure enough, Piccolo's attack hit him directly on the forehead. However, the attacked Goku didn't react at all, still standing there motionless. Son Goku sighed sadly. 33, 33. Son Goku raised his knee and hit Piccolo in the abdomen. After being attacked, Piccolo's back suddenly bulged, his mouth opened wide, disgusting saliva flowed out, and his legs couldn't help but thump. He walked towards Piccolo Daimao step by step. Piccolo retreated with panic. He had just regained his youth, and even if he couldn't beat him, he didn't want to die. But in front of such a powerful guy like Son Goku, he couldn't think of any way to survive. In the temple. Advertisement. The god saw Son Goku beating Piccolo Daimao. His eyes were full of complexity, but more of it was relief. This little guy is really powerful. Piccolo Daimao couldn't even get past him. It seems that it's time for me to say goodbye to this world. When Son Goku was about to use his last move on Piccolo, the god closed his eyes peacefully. However, a moment later, the god found that he was not dead. He couldn't help but open his eyes. He looked at the human world again, looking at the position of Piccolo. I saw that Piccolo actually pinched Xiao Wu's head to help Son Goku. Don't come over, I'll crush her head if you come over. Son Goku was stunned. What are you doing? Are you trying to threaten me? Piccolo said angrily. Don't pretend. I just saw you save the three of them. You must know each other, and you must be trying to save her life. You don't want me to crush her head, do you? Son Goku frowned and said. You are Piccolo Daimao after all. Just tell me what you want to do. Actually, I'm not very familiar with her, so we can be considered strangers. It's meaningless to threaten me with a stranger like this. Son Goku said, and walked forward. Seeing that he was still walking, Piccolo's anus suddenly tightened, and he immediately shouted. Don't move, stand still, if you move, she will die. As he said, Piccolo added a little more strength. I don't know if it was because of fear or because it was too painful. Xiao Wu cried out and shed tears. Seeing that Xiao Wu seemed to be killed, Son Goku stopped. The corners of Piccolo's mouth immediately revealed the joy of success. He thought to himself. Hee hee, it worked, he stopped. Sure enough, the weakness of human beings lies in this kind of mental fragility, even a stranger can be saved. Sure enough, only cold-blooded people can rule the world. Piccolo bent down and picked up a stone. He exhaled and shot the stone directly at Son Goku's knee at a speed faster than a bullet. Pop! The stone bounced off. Son Goku blinked and asked. What are you doing? Piccolo's eyes fixed. Useless. Son Goku sneered. Piccolo, you don't think this thing can break my legs, do you? Piccolo's pupils shrank. He couldn't help but curse inwardly. This guy, doesn't he have any weaknesses? It's over, in this case, I can only run away. Piccolo roared. Don't follow me, or I'll crush her head. Son Goku said calmly. Let her go, in exchange, I'll let you go this time. Quote. Piccolo raised his mouth and said. Do you think I will believe it? We demons are not as naive as you humans. You are not allowed to follow us. So, Piccolo held Xiao Wu hostage and fled madly into the distance. He was right. He was the evil Piccolo Daimao. How could Son Goku really let him go? He still followed him from a distance. Son Goku guessed that Piccolo was afraid of catching up with him and killing him directly, so he must not dare to kill the hostage. Piccolo saw Goku following him from a distance, and his eyes turned. It seemed that a light bulb flashed in his mind, and he immediately thought of a way. He used all his strength to throw Xiao Wu in the third direction. Xiao Wu screamed and flew backwards, and Piccolo even added strength and flew madly in the original direction. Seeing this scene, Son Goku showed a strange look at the corner of his mouth. Although this guy is bad, his brain is still quite useful. 2.6 Son Goku immediately turned and flew towards Xiao Wu. According to Piccolo's strength, Xiao Wu could fly hundreds of miles like Dao Bai's pillar. Fortunately, Goku was faster and soon caught up with Xiao Wu and saved her. She wanted to thank Son Goku for saving her life. But being thrown so far away, Xiao Wu's legs were so frightened that they softened, and her whole body was shaking. Her legs were tightly clamped together, and a stream of crystal liquid scattered across the sky. Xiao Wu was shocked and ashamed to find that she had peed herself. But fortunately, she found that Son Goku didn't notice it, so she could only secretly rejoice. Son Goku's attention was all on Piccolo. After putting her on the ground, he chased in the direction of Piccolo Daimao again. Xiao Wu, who had recovered, looked at Goku's back was filled with excited tears. Is this what it means to be a hero saving a beautiful woman? What a happy feeling. Wow, he's so handsome. It's said on TV that you can only repay a life-saving favor with your body. But what if he doesn't like me? Oh, I'd be happy even if he asked me to be his maid. Question mark. It's over, what am I talking about? Question mark. I'm completely in love and I'm about to drown. Chapter 87 First Meeting with No. 18. Piccolo Daimao has already fled for thousands of miles. He flew over the mountains, over the terraced fields, and now he is over a sea. However, no matter what terrain he escapes in, he still cannot escape Son Goku's pursuit. Because of the huge speed difference, Son Goku's figure is getting closer and closer. Like the sickle of the god of death hanging over his head. He dare not relax at all and still runs with all his strength. However, even if he runs for his life, according to the speed he sensed, he calculated. It only takes another minute for that kid to catch up. Sweat broke out on his forehead again. Damn, why is this guy so fast? If this goes on, I will definitely die. Piccolo clenched his fists angrily, and despair enveloped his whole body. I am so angry, I am Piccolo Daimao, but I am forced to this extent. Little did he know that Son Goku could actually catch up with him very quickly. Forcing him like this is to force him to lay an egg and let the egg survive. Unfortunately, this guy just couldn't understand what Son Goku meant. Son Goku was also helpless in chasing him. It seems that he has to be told directly before he will understand. Just when Piccolo Daimao felt desperate, a small island in front of him came into view. There was a forest on the island, and there were countless animals. Piccolo pondered for a while, or, hide in the forest on the island. However, as soon as this idea came out, Piccolo shook his head. This idea was too stupid. There were many animals and birds in the forest. If he went down, he would definitely scare a group of birds. Wouldn't he be caught directly? He gritted his teeth and spent some life again, and the speed increased a little. On the coast of the island, a little blonde girl was walking on the beach and playing. She was about 7 or 8 years old, with a pair of ponytails on her head. Under her long eyelashes, a pair of blue eyes were smart and bright. Her little nose was raised high, which made her look particularly playful and cute. The blue sea water surged onto the beach layer by layer with the waves, submerging her white feet. The waves retreated, swept away a lot of fine sand, and left behind a few small lives in the sea. The fine sand once again crossed his toes, bringing her a touch of coolness. As if she was enjoying a comfortable afternoon life. The little girl couldn't help but moan. Well, today's water temperature is so cool and comfortable. At this moment, a small crab was stuck behind a stone, and was seen by the girl. A trace of joy appeared on her face. Hey, crab, so good. She immediately ran to the crab, and tried to catch it with one hand. It seemed that she lived by the sea and was proficient in the skills of catching the sea. The little girl easily pinched the two sides of the crab's back cover. No matter how it stretched its teeth and claws, it couldn't hurt the girl at all. Ha ha ha, it was caught, and it will have another meal in the evening. Suddenly, she found that another small crab was stopped behind the stone in front. The girl grabbed this crab again. So, in just a few breaths, she was fighting with a crab in each hand. However, at this moment, the third crab came into view. However, both her hands were occupied. Ah, damn, I bumped into another one. She looked back at the coast, and there was no one. She seemed a little angry, and her white little feet stomped hard on the wet beach. It's so annoying, what is that guy Lapis doing? Why hasn't he come for so long? If he comes, I can catch more crabs, and I'll have a snack in the evening. She stood on tiptoe and couldn't help looking further away. However, Lapis still didn't appear. But she saw a green figure flying in the sky in this direction. The girl couldn't help but ask curiously, hey, what's that in the sky? It seemed that he noticed that she was looking at the sky, and Piccolo in the sky also looked at her. That figure was Piccolo Daimao, who was running away frantically. At this moment, Piccolo had already seen Son Goku chasing behind him. As expected, he couldn't escape. However, seeing the little girl on the beach, he seemed to have found hope of survival again. The next moment, Piccolo rushed to the little girl and grabbed her head. Stop, if you chase me again, I'll crush her head. Son Goku, who was chasing behind him, saw that Piccolo had captured another hostage and stopped again. He looked at the little girl in Piccolo's hand. The girl was very beautiful. With a delicate face like a porcelain doll and childishness. She was smaller than him, about 10 years old. A trace of helplessness flashed in Son Goku's eyes. Piccolo Daimao laughed immediately when he saw him stop. Ha 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 ha, I like to take advantage of this weakness of you humans. Don't move, or I'll crush him to death. Son Goku looked at Piccolo with burning eyes and said, do you think you can run away? I know you have done many evil things, so I can't let you go. But, there is a glimmer of hope. Piccolo was curious. What do you mean? Son Goku said, this is the first time I have seen a person like you on Earth. It would be a pity if you were extinct. But you have done too many bad things, so you will definitely die. You can leave one of your offspring. After I kill you, I can let your offspring go and let your race continue. Advertisement. Piccolo was stunned for a moment, then burst into laughter. Ha 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 ha, sorry, I finally regained my freedom and youth, but I haven't enjoyed it for a day. Compared to letting my offspring reproduce, don't I want to survive more? Son Goku said coldly, do you think it's possible? Piccolo smiled. Of course it's possible, it depends on people. While speaking, Piccolo pointed his fingertips, and a ray of light penetrated the girl's belly. The girl burst into tears instantly. Son Goku was startled. What are you doing? Thinking that Son Goku would rush over quickly, Piccolo's anus tightened, and immediately said, don't come over if you don't want him to die. I didn't hurt her vitals, as long as you take her to see a doctor now, she won't die. Otherwise, hehehehe. Piccolo showed a treacherous smile. Son Goku's eyes condensed. In order to survive, this guy's brain is really fast. As he spoke, Piccolo used the same trick again, and threw the crying little girl in a third direction. If you want to catch Piccolo, you can't save the child. Son Goku rushed to the little girl without saying a word, and caught her in just a few seconds. Piccolo, who was not far away, laughed and said, if you don't want her to die, send her to see a doctor immediately. I'm leaving, ha ha ha. After that, Piccolo fled away in a triumphant manner. OSOSOSOS. The girl's sobbing was heard. Son Goku lowered his head and looked at the girl in his arms. Because of excessive blood loss, her face was a little pale, and her crying became a little weak. At this moment, her blue eyes looked at Son Goku. She asked in a soft voice, brother, will I die? No, Son Goku said affirmatively. Then he immediately sent the girl back to the ground. Son Goku held her in one hand and took out a senzu bean from his pocket with the other hand. Come, eat this bean. The girl blinked her tearful eyes, then opened her mouth obediently. Son Goku put the bean into her mouth. After a few crunching sounds, the girl swallowed the beans. Her pierced abdomen was restored to its original state, and her weak and pale face became rosy in an instant. The girl was surprised, and she immediately lifted up the t-shirt with a hole and blood stains, revealing her flat belly. The wound disappeared, and there was no scar. The girl couldn't help but say in surprise, brother, what did you give me to eat? I'm actually healed, and I don't feel any pain at all. Son Goku said, it's senzu beans. The girl looked at Son Goku curiously and asked, senzu beans? What a strange name. Could it be the beans from the gods? Just now I saw my brother flying, could it be that you are a fairy? Son Goku touched the girl's head, and said with a smile, you are so smart, you guessed half right. I am not a fairy, but this is indeed the fairy beans sent by the fairy. Okay, now you are fine, I have to go. Just now the bad guy ran away, I have to chase him. Son Goku glanced at the beach, and then looked at the girl and asked, where are your parents? You are so young, it is also dangerous at the beach, hurry home. The little girl nodded, and then got up from Son Goku's arms. Dad and brother are in the cabin in the forest. Brother will come to find me in a while, you don't have to worry about me. Big brother, go chase the bad guys. Son Goku nodded and said, well, kid, goodbye. After that, Son Goku chased Piccolo in the direction he left. Goodbye, big brother. The little girl waved to Son Goku who was going away. Soon, Son Goku disappeared, looking at Son Goku's strange hairstyle and the tail behind him. Many question marks were buried in the girl's heart, making her interested in him. She touched the bloody hole on her clothes and looked at her smooth belly, feeling a little dazed. What happened just now is real, I'm not dreaming, that brother saved me. Hey, I seem to have forgotten to ask his name. What a pity. Just at this moment, a little boy who was about the same height as her walked towards her. He was holding a basket in his hand, and when he saw the girl, he shouted. Lazuli, I'm here, let's go catch crabs. The girl looked at the boy and nodded, okay. But the blood stains on her clothes were seen by the boy. The boy was obviously stunned for a moment, and he pointed at the blood stains on Lazuli's clothes with some fear. And said in horror, you are bleeding, Lazuli. Lazuli shook her head, it's okay, don't make a fuss. Hundreds of miles away, Piccolo was beaten all over, with blue veins all over his body. Countless wounds kept dripping green blood on the road. He once again distanced himself from Son Goku. Die. This B*********** D is determined to kill me and won't leave me any chance to live. I'm so angry. Piccolo thought about the way Goku gave him to live. Now that he had tried every possible way to escape, he finally gave in. He clenched his fists and said viciously, we demons are not so easy to be exterminated by you. Since you want me to die, I will use up all my life essence to give birth to a child who was born purely for fighting. As he said, Piccolo gathered his strength to make an egg that he had poured countless efforts into. The egg flew towards the small river in the distance. The moment he spit out the egg, his breath also became weak. My child, remember, one day you must avenge your father. As he said, he turned his head to meet Son Goku who was getting closer and closer. Humph, you caught up so quickly. Even if I die, I will drag you down with me. As he said, Piccolo shot towards Son Goku. All the aura in his body gathered together, and his body instantly swelled up when he approached Goku. He was going to self-destruct. When he got close to Son Goku, Piccolo laughed fiercely. If you let me die, I will also drag you down, let's die together, ha 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 ha. Piccolo's body completely exploded, and the huge explosion submerged Son Goku, forming a huge mushroom cloud that rose into the sky. After the smoke and dust dissipated, a large pit with a radius of 100 miles appeared on the ground. However, in the sky above, Son Goku was floating in the air without any injury. He brushed off the dust on his body and said, you want to drag me to be buried with you before you die. Boring. The self-explosion due to insufficient strength only made Son Goku stained with a little dust. The god on the god's robe had a complicated expression when he saw this ending. Of course, he was more relieved. He turned his head and looked at the servant Bobo beside him. Bobo, Piccolo's matter, could it be you? Bobo nodded and said, Lord God, you guessed right, I did it. I think the world cannot be without gods, so in order to let you live, I made a deal with them in the lower world. The wrinkled face of the god showed a kind smile. Thank you, Bobo. Chapter 88. 3 years passed in a blink of an eye, and I grew up. Came house. Piccolo Daimao was taken away by Goku. Everyone gathered together to celebrate Krillin's wedding and the restoration of nuclear peace to the Earth. Shino and Chichi were busy in the kitchen cooking for everyone. Everyone else was happily chatting around the table. Just now they were talking about how powerful and cruel Piccolo Daimao was. Now they are talking about how to practice in the temple in the future. Basic strength training and physical training are just a foundation. The real way to go to the next level is to practice in the mind. But everyone knows what is going on, but not why. Even Master Roshi knows a little bit. In short, several people are looking forward to practicing in the temple. Master Roshi, who was bored, turned on the TV. The usual yoga activities were not performed, and expert lectures were broadcast. On the day when the martial arts competition ended, the news of dozens of deaths and injuries was on TV. The demon character on the body of the deceased was also exposed through TV. Many people have learned about Piccolo Daimao's resurrection through clues. After all, hundreds of years ago, Piccolo Daimao once turned the world into a hell. Even though Piccolo Daimao's story has been around for 300 years, it is still widely circulated. So, even though Piccolo Daimao has not had time to wreak havoc on the world, he has already brought panic to people and brought them endless psychological pressure. In addition to broadcasting the incident on TV, more experts are asked to come out to calm people's hearts. Various remarks emerge in an endless stream, and the most popular ones are experts who show how powerful human weapons are. Times have changed. When Piccolo Daimao was in his prime, it was 300 years ago when he was backward. Not to mention that the food and clothing were relatively backward, the martial arts were also very poor. At most, flintlocks and muskets were dead. Now that technology has developed rapidly for 300 years, it is no longer comparable to the past. Under nuclear bombs, all beings are equal. 10 big demons are not enough to explode. Seeing all the nonsense on TV, and one after another, Master Roshi turned off the TV. Hey, there are no more beautiful girls doing yoga on TV, it's so boring. Tien Shinhan said. Piccolo Daimao was eliminated so quickly. I thought it would not affect people's lives. I didn't expect that all the channels on TV have been showing this these 2 days. Yamcha suggested. Why not? Let's contact the TV station and tell them that Piccolo Daimao is dead. Bulma thought about it and nodded. That's right, then I'll contact the TV station. As she said that, Bulma walked to the phone and dialed the TV station's number. Hello, is this the TV station? I have good news for you all. Piccolo Daimao has been eliminated and the world is at peace. Yes, that's right, he's dead. Well, you asked me who killed me. As he said that, Zama looked at Son Goku. Son Goku was startled and immediately shook his head, indicating that it was not him. Bulma smiled and said, of course it was someone who upholds justice. After that, Bulma hung up the phone. Just then, Sinew began to shout, it's time to eat. Bulma also put down the phone and quickly got busy. It's time to eat. Go wash your hands first. Goku, help remove all the melon seeds and peanuts on the table. Krillin, help serve the dishes, it's more. Because Kame House is relatively small, not many people can live there. In addition, they have been training in Karen Tower for many years, and they almost forgot how to live a normal life. So, after dinner, Bulma took Goku and Chichi to Exedu. In the next few days, the 3 of them were more relaxed. Chichi and Bulma go shopping every day. Goku eats 3 meals a day, each meal is enough for 50 people. They finally enjoyed a few days of relaxing and comfortable time. Krillin felt that he should have a home, and he exchanged a lot of money for the treasure he found with Goku and Chichi. Advertisement. After exchanging the money, Krillin took Sinew to buy a house and a car. After careful selection, they bought a small villa of several hundred square meters and a car. After buying the house and car, they went to the furniture store to customize various furniture, and went to the electrical appliance store to buy electrical appliances. After a few days of tossing and decorating, their house is becoming more and more like a home. However, after a few days of not practicing, whether it is Krillin, Goku and Chichi, I started to feel uncomfortable all over. Fortunately, it was almost time to go to the temple. And everyone packed their bags and prepared to leave. As we all know, gravity training can quickly improve a person's strength and speed. Improving basic combat power is the foundation of everything. Bulma thought that a group of Kame Senryu warriors must be well organized. So she helped make a few more gravity bracelets, and gave one each to Tien Shinhan, Jiaozi and Yamcha. The day Popo came, the magic carpet was packed. They boarded the temple with Goku, Krillin and Chichi. Since then, Popo teacher has officially come online. The training of strength, they understand nothing more than gravity training. Wearing a gravity bracelet, doing strength training with weights, or fighting each other. However, Popo warned them that it is wrong to practice in a monotonous way forever. The world is big, you should go to the wonderful world to explore. Instead of repeating the same martial arts practice every day. If you repeat it for a long time, the body will adapt. When the body completely enters the comfort zone, it is probably difficult to make any progress. It will soon reach a bottleneck. Everyone is curious about how Popo will train. As a result, Popo directly sent them to different virtual time and space. and asked them to find various masters to learn from. There are martial arts masters hundreds of years ago, the young crane immortal, Master Roshi. There are lightning-fast sub-ohms, and various martial arts masters with high realms. Such training had never been seen before. It really opened the door to a new world for several people. Each of them was looking forward to being sent to an interesting world to adventure. The purpose of Popo's teaching was very simple, but it would take a long time to comprehend it, and it might not be mastered even if it took a lifetime. The heart was as quiet as the sky. The movements were as fast as lightning. Use the breath to sense the opponent. Use the flow of the wind to judge the enemy's moves. There was even training to make the body react reasonably without thinking. Son Goku thought to himself that it seemed that in this world, God was not necessarily very strong, but the servants of God were all terribly strong and bottomless. In a blink of an eye, 3 years later, Goku grew taller and became a fly. Except for him, everyone else naturally became stronger. The god looked at the people who had been practicing for 3 years, and a smile appeared on his wrinkled face. I have good news for you all. After my efforts in communication over the past few days, Lord Kai, who manages the Western Galaxy, finally agreed to accept a disciple. After this world's first martial arts tournament, the fortune teller will take you to the underworld, and then you will run the entire snake path by yourself, and there will be King Kai's planet. Everyone was surprised to hear that King Kai accepted a disciple. Tien Shinhan, as expected of a god, he actually has such connections, amazing. Krillin. I'm so nervous, I haven't had time to recite jokes yet, what should I do? Jiaozi. Krillin, it's okay, you look funny, no matter whether the jokes you tell are funny or not, Lord Kai will laugh. Son Goku rubbed his head and asked, God, how did you think of introducing us to Lord Kai? The god smiled. Bulma asked me to contact her. She said that the limit of the gravity bracelet is only a dozen times the gravity. If it is higher, the bracelet will break too easily. Unless you build a gravity room, but if you practice in the gravity room, then the meaning of practice is lost. She didn't know where she got it from, but she knew that the gravity of King Kai is 10 times that of the Earth. In this way, with the bracelet and the gravity of King Kai itself, you can try to get used to 100 times the gravity. 100 times gravity. Krillin took a breath of cold air. Oh my god, I weigh 100 kilograms, and 100 times gravity is 10,000 kilograms. Won't I turn into meat paste directly? Tien Shinhan's forehead was covered with cold sweat. Can the human body really adapt to 100 times gravity? I'm not very used to 10 times gravity now. Yamcha sighed. Of course, I've only adapted to 5 times gravity now. You're too hard on yourself. Krillin raised his nose high. I'm telling you, actually, I could adapt to 10 times gravity 3 years ago. Chichi saw that Krillin wanted to brag again, and immediately said, Krillin, your 10 times gravity is different from ours, King Qian is good. Krillin was stunned. What do you mean, Chichi? Chichi covered her mouth and laughed. You weigh only 60 kilograms, while they weigh 170 to 80 kilograms. Even I weigh more than 100 kilograms. So, your weight 10 times is of course different from our weight 10 times. Krillin heard it, that's the truth. However, the next second, he realized something was wrong. Damn, Chichi, you mocked me. Chichi smiled playfully and hid behind Goku. Krillin said, when I go down to see Bulma, I will definitely borrow a radar. I will make a wish to grow 5 centimeters taller after I collect all the Dragon Balls. Son Goku. Why are you obsessed with 5 centimeters? Yamcha. Maybe I grew too tall all of a sudden and it's easy for people to see it. Just as several people were discussing their height, the god coughed lightly. Everyone looked at the god. The god slowly said, going to King Kai's planet is not because of gravity. Lord Kai has 2 unique skills, one is Kaioken and the other is Spirit Bomb, both of which are powerful moves. Close black lens bracket. I won't force Spirit Bomb, but I hope every one of you will study Kaioken well. If you can master Kaioken, which is said to be only available to King Kai, your strength can be improved several times or even dozens of times on the original basis. Really, 90 brave Chichi. Attention, contestants participating in the world's first martial arts tournament, the preliminaries are about to begin, please gather at the martial arts hall. As the host announced the entrance, many martial artists entered the martial arts hall one after another. Tien Shinhan walked towards the martial arts hall and suddenly found that Master Roshi was wearing a suit and had no intention of going. He immediately asked, Master Mutant, are you not going to play this time? Master Roshi immediately shook his head. Don't joke, you are all practicing with the gods. I can't beat any of you now, there is no point in going. Then I'll go in, Master Mutant. Go, do well. With that, Tien Shinhan and Jiaozi walked into the martial arts hall, and Yamcha followed closely. Tien Shinhan was still very calm, but Yamcha had a bitter face. Tien Shinhan, we have been practicing in the heavens for so long, although we have made great progress. But do you feel that the gap between our strength and Goku's 3 people is getting bigger and bigger? Tien Shinhan nodded. Yeah, Goku and his team were very fierce. We are making progress, and they have never slacked off. But, keep up the good work. The true meaning of martial arts is to never stop. That's true. Just as the two were chatting, a man wearing a cloak and buying pass coins passed by. And when he turned the corner, he glanced at them. The two of them froze. What's wrong with this guy? The cold look in his eyes seems to have a grudge against us. Do you know him? Yamcha asked. Tien Shinhan shook his head. Strange man, I don't know him. With that, the two of them ignored him and walked into the martial arts hall. That man was none other than Piccolo Daimao. Just now, when Tien Shinhan mentioned Son Goku, he paid attention to him. Finding that he was not Son Goku and was not among them, Piccolo no longer paid attention to them. But he walked into the martial arts hall. As soon as he entered the room, he saw Son Goku. Because he, Chichi and Krillin formed a small group, all wearing orange martial arts uniforms, which were particularly bright. Piccolo felt the unusual aura on Son Goku, and his eyes gradually became colder. He used the mind dialogue to actively communicate with Son Goku. So you are Son Goku, and your reputation is well deserved. For 3 years, I have been waiting for this day, and finally it has come. Hearing the voice in his mind, Son Goku looked over. Piccolo too was wearing a headscarf and was looking at him not far away, with hatred flashing in his eyes. Goku also turned around and looked at Chen. After staring at each other for a while, Piccolo went to other areas. Chichi asked curiously, Goku, do you know that man? He looks so fierce. Son Goku nodded. He should be the son of Piccolo Daimao, Piccolo too. Chichi nodded with sudden realization. Oh, so, his face is green, and he looks really weird. Krillin looked at Piccolo's back as he left, and he connected directly. Goku, Chichi, I feel like I've been a little too proud these past 2 years. The rumored Piccolo Daimao is nothing to me, his aura is so weak. Chichi smiled and said, Krillin, do you want me to praise you? Krillin, you've become too strong. Krillin said, we have been training with famous teachers, and we are indeed very strong. Krillin looked at Goku again and asked, Goku, do you think we are about to become invincible? Invincible, Del, Krillin affirmed. Son Goku thought about it, and after Saiyan came the growing combat power, he shook his head decisively. Let's not talk about it first. Universe Emperor Frieza. Even Frieza's few inconspicuous subordinates have tens of thousands of combat power. The Ginyu Force is even more powerful. Now the 3 of them seem very powerful. But if they go to Frieza's army, they can only be a small soldier. Not even close. There are always people better than you in this world. Don't be complacent, don't slack off, practice hard. Quote. Krillin was a little dazed and asked, are there such powerful people? Son Goku thought about the masters behind him. Frieza, the androids, Majin Buu, Hit, Jiren. Above them should be gods of destruction or something. Thinking too much. The current level is too low and can't be touched at all. Goku thought about it and told him that Frieza crushed him, but he didn't believe it and even had a psychological shadow. So he brought out all the knowledge that Bulma taught him. Goku said, Sister Bulma has a lot of contact with the Galactic Patrol. Various star fields, very wide. One day, Bulma popularized a lot of science to me and Chichi universe knowledge. In fact, this world is very big. In addition to the Earth, there is also the vast universe, where various human beings live on their own planets. Even in the universe, wars will break out between planets. Just like the wars between humans on our Earth hundreds of years ago. The main force of those interstellar battles is not technology, but powerful combat power. In short, there are too many powerful people in the world. And we are not even a fraction of those masters. If we want to see those powerful guys, and if we want to be able to fight back strongly when our Earth is invaded one day, we must be very good. Only by constantly working hard to practice, improve our horizons, and then become stronger again. Quote. Krillin looked at Goku blankly, with confusion in his eyes. In the universe, will there be fights between planets? Shouldn't be. Krillin scratched his head. What you said is too weird, it doesn't sound real to me. Chichi said. Krillin, this is why you are so ignorant. When you and Shenhua went on vacation, Bulma taught us a lot about the universe. It's not hard to understand. The battles between the planets in the universe are just like the primitive tribes of our human race robbing each other for resources. There are even characters like ancient emperors, the kings of the universe who are constantly expanding their territory, rule hundreds of planets, and have countless elite soldiers and generals under their command. Bulma's sister Tais has been adventuring with the Galactic Patrol. The Galactic Patrol is responsible for maintaining the law and order of the universe, and has seen many scenes of interstellar battles. Krillin took a breath. Is it true? Of course it's true. Krillin didn't believe it, and asked, why haven't aliens come to attack our Earth for so many years? Chichi touched his chin and turned to look at Goku. Hey, Goku, what did Bulma say at that time? Son Goku thought for a while and said, maybe the Earth is too remote. There is only one planet with humans in the radius of a very far radius. Advertisement. It seems not worthwhile to invade and rob a small Earth, so no one is willing to come here. Krillin was stunned. I understand, that is to say, our Earth is just a small chassis, and the big guys don't look down on it. Son Goku nodded. It should be considered very looked down upon. In the eyes of the big guys, the Earth is like a single grape. And other planets are generally intertwined with other planets, and several adjacent planets are not too far away. It's like a bunch of grapes, and the invasion value is much higher than that of the Earth. So there are no invaders on the Earth. Krillin seemed to understand. Said, I understand, that is to say, in fact, we are very poor. But because of this, we are very safe. Chichi nodded. That's about the meaning. But the technology on Earth is too backward. In the future, interstellar spacecraft will be faster and faster, and our Earth will be invaded sooner or later. Therefore, the Earth must have a strong force to protect it. And we work hard to become stronger in order to protect the Earth in the future. Quote. Krillin nodded. I understand. If aliens invade the Earth one day, I hope we can all become heroes who protect the Earth. Quote. Son Goku nodded. Krillin, let's all work hard, we will all become the guardians of the Earth. If you want to know more, I will find you a space novel written by Ties, all of which are adapted from real stories. Quote. Krillin was surprised for a moment, then nodded. Okay. At this moment, the referee began to call people to draw lots. Tien Shinhan immediately asked Jiaozi to use his superpowers to operate in secret. Separate their own people into different rounds. Strive not to meet before the quarterfinals. After layers of selection, the final 8 was finally selected. Piccolo undoubtedly got into the role. They were even more stress-free. Son Goku, Chichi, Krillin, Tien Shinhan, Jiaozi, and Yamcha. They are all their own people, and there is only one outsider, Piccolo, and a black-clothed masked man. The quarterfinals are gathered. Son Goku looked at the black-clothed masked man. Come on, this guy is probably Yajirobe. After another round of drawing lots, the quarterfinals are also out. Tien Shinhan vs Chichi. Son Goku vs black-clothed masked man. Krillin vs Demon 2 Piccolo. Yamcha vs Jiaozi. Son Goku looked at Krillin versus Piccolo and asked curiously, Jiaozi, did you arrange this? Jiaozi shook his head. I interfered in the first round of the preliminaries, but I didn't interfere in the second round. It was basically our own people. What's wrong? Is there something wrong? Jiaozi asked. It's okay. Quote. Son Goku shook his head and worried about Piccolo secretly. In the previous life, it shouldn't be a problem to let Piccolo's son fight Krillin. But Krillin has been training with him all the way. Just like Chichi and himself. The three of them have accepted Bulma's professional training package, and have not taken any detours. Krillin is too strong at this moment, second only to himself. If Piccolo fights him, he can't win even if he tries his best. He can't even make it to the semifinals, and Son Goku is really worried that his mentality will collapse and he can't think straight. At this moment, the referee walked to the fighting arena. Dear audience, I've kept you waiting for a long time. I declare that the 23rd Tianka No. 1 martial arts tournament will start now. The first game, Tien Shinhan vs. Chichi. Please invite the two players to the stage. Soon, Tien Shinhan and Chichi both walked onto the stage. After the two of them had set their starting positions, the referee decisively shouted. Start. Tien Shinhan said seriously. Chichi, I know you are very strong now. So, even if you are a girl, I will not let you go. If you don't use your full strength, it means you look down on me. Chichi was stunned for a moment. Let me use my full strength. Tien Shinhan nodded. Yes, I want to see how big the gap is between me and Goku. I am not in the same group with him, but I can try to compare the gap with you. Chichi nodded. I understand, be careful. Tien Shinhan shouted, and his aura suddenly rose to the highest level. In an instant, a circle of strong wind blew from his body, and the dust on the ring was dispersed a lot by his aura. With him as the center, a very clean stone floor appeared. The audience was surprised to see this scene. Wow, isn't that Tien Shinhan? The runner-up of the last session, it seems that he has practiced hard for 3 years. Yes, his qigong is so strong that it can affect the environment and shake off the dust. It's not easy. After raising his chi, Tien Shinhan stepped on the ground and punched Chichi. However, just when his fist was about to hit Chichi, Chichi suddenly disappeared. The audience was also surprised. Where is he? Gone. Tien Shinhan's punch missed and he almost fell forward. He had a gap. At this moment, Chichi's figure suddenly appeared behind him and chopped down with a backhand knife. In an instant, Tien Shinhan screamed and hit the floor tiles heavily. The floor tiles broke into many pieces, and Tien Shinhan lay there with his eyes rolled back. The whole audience was silent, and even the referee was stunned. Seeing Tien Shinhan motionless, a gap appeared. Oh no, you told me to use all my strength, don't die. Bulma was in the stands watching Chichi knock down Tien Shinhan with one move, and she couldn't help but be surprised. After a moment, a smile appeared on her face. I didn't expect it. Even Chichi is so powerful. Tien Shinhan spent 3 years in the heavens and still couldn't catch up with their progress. It seems that the training plan I customized for them over the years has achieved remarkable results. At this moment, warm applause and cheers broke out from the audience. Too powerful. A girl knocked out a big man with one move. The girl next door has grown up. She is so powerful and powerful. The key is that she is so beautiful. Do you have to save the world to be qualified to marry such a girl? Quote. Bulma also gave Chichi a thumbs up. Brave Chichi warrior. Chapter 91 Piccolo doubts about life. After the referee checked, Tien Shinhan was just knocked unconscious, not dead. Chichi was relieved. So, Chichi successfully entered the semifinals. Tien Shinhan woke up and left the ring with a bitter face, sitting in the audience. Master Roshi patted Tien Shinhan and said, You are 3 years behind her in practice. It's normal to be defeated by her. Don't be depressed. As long as you practice well, you will catch up with them sooner or later. Tien Shinhan nodded. I know, I will work hard, thank you Master Wu Tien. Quote. Behind the arena, Piccolo looked at Chichi in surprise, with a hint of understanding in his eyes. Damn, the victory was too quick, I didn't see her strength at all. Let's observe the next match. Soon, Son Goku and Yajirobe, the masked man in black, came on stage. Bulma saw the masked man in black, and through his clothes. She could see the figure of the fat man, and she felt very familiar with him. Suddenly, through the holes in the masked man's eyes, Bulma saw the man's eyes. Bulma couldn't help shrinking her pupils. That guy is Yajirobe. She remembered her previous life. In the survivor concentration camp, there was a lazy uncle who was also mixed with his ministers. That man was Yajirobe. He obviously had martial arts skills, but he was so lazy. Instead of working hard to fight Black Goku, he became a middle-aged uncle who wasted food, useless, and always hid food. Bulma exhaled a foul breath. It's him. Damn, a guy who wastes beans and food. At this moment, the referee announced, 600, and the game started. Bulma suddenly stood up and shouted to Son Goku, Goku, perform well and beat that guy hard. Originally, he wanted to knock out Yajirobe with one move like Chichi. However, after hearing Bulma's words, Son Goku seemed to realize something. Are you dissatisfied with Chi-Chi's fight ending too quickly and not being entertaining? At this moment, Yajirobe rushed towards Son Goku. The chubby fists were like machine guns, constantly attacking Son Goku. Son Goku's figure kept shaking, and he dodged Yajirobe's fist without falling. As he attacked, Son Goku's footsteps kept retreating. The referee was also surprised to see this scene. He immediately began to explain. Wow, the black-clad masked player is so powerful. I saw that his fists were strong and powerful, and he kept attacking Mr. Son Goku, leaving no chance to fight back. Mr. Son Goku faced such a violent attack. And for a while he had no choice but to keep retreating. It was so exciting. The people in the audience held their breath when they saw this scene. My goodness, that man is Son Goku, who is as strong as Krillin. He was beaten. That black-clad masked man is not simple. Too brave. Who is that man? Although Son Goku was dodging, he was always testing Yajirobe's strength. He had to control the strength, not to kill him, not to knock him out, and it would be best not to hurt him. Just make him feel pain. So, under Yajirobe's attack, Son Goku immediately counterattacked. And threw a set of random punches at Yajirobe. In an instant, the punch-to-flesh attack poured onto Yajirobe. The black mask was full of grinning expressions. A few seconds later, Son Goku beat Yajirobe violently. However, in the eyes of the audience, it was Son Goku who withstood the attacks of the black-clothed masked man and held back a counterattack. That set of attacks was very strong at first glance. Every move hit the target, and every punch hit the flesh. Indistinctly, Yajirobe's miserable groan could be heard. The audience thought it was very exciting and applauded him. Well done. Son Goku finally fought back. What a beautiful combination of punches. As expected of a disciple of Master Wu Tien, this martial arts is so exquisite. The two fought for a round and pulled away. The black-clothed masked man began to breathe heavily. During this gap, the referee began to explain. The attack of the black-clad masked player is indeed very strong. However, Son Goku has participated in the martial arts tournament for the third time. He is strong and experienced. Son lived up to expectations and withstood the powerful attack of the black-clad masked player. Son Goku immediately launched an effective counterattack and immediately regained the momentum. Now, let's see how our black-clad masked player will fight back. Let's wait and see. Yajirobe is much stronger than ordinary people. But he is very weak in character. He runs away when he sees a master. He belongs to the kind of hide-and-seek style. After fighting with Son Goku for a round, Yajirobe found that he was not his opponent. He immediately had the idea of retreating. However, after the referee said this, plus he felt that he could still resist, and found that although the opponent's fist was powerful, he was not injured after hitting him for so long. Yajirobe felt that he could give it a try. He would win if he knocked him off the ring in one go. If he can't beat him, he won't die. After all, this is a martial arts tournament. So, Yajirobe suddenly attacked Son Goku. After a set of attack and defense cycles, Yajirobe rushed forward again unconvinced. Soon, the audience cheered continuously. Goku and Yajirobe fought against each other, constantly controlling their own strength. Gradually, he became more and more familiar with the feeling of pinching strength. In general, in a fight, a stronger force is used to attack the opponent. If the force invested is too strong, it is difficult to attack. If the force is too small, the attack is fast, but it can't hurt the opponent. If all the strength is used, it needs to be charged, or transformed into a muscle form. And the speed is slow, and it is useless if it can't hit. Being able to use your maximum strength to attack at a speed that the enemy cannot dodge is a higher level of strength training. Only when the strength of the power control is accurate enough can it be considered a real master. Son Goku is constantly practicing and confirming his thoughts. He suddenly remembered what Vegeta said in the later period. Jiren's power is actually similar to theirs, but his expression is completely different. It is because of his strong control of power that the group will shine at the Lijing conference. Advertisement. Just a few minutes later, Son Goku had fought with Yajirobe for several rounds. At this moment, Yajirobe was still unwilling to accept and wanted to continue fighting. Unfortunately, he had exhausted his strength and admitted defeat before the next round began. After seeing Goku's battle, Piccolo's eyes flashed with strange emotions. As this Son Goku, it took so long to defeat a guy like that, isn't it a bit of acting? Damn, he didn't show any strength at all, and didn't find out his specific strength. Soon the second round of the battle ended, and Son Goku won. The third battle began. Please invite Krillin and the second generation of demons to the stage. Piccolo flew to the ring, and Krillin also flew to the ring. The people in the audience saw that both of them could fly, and they all looked forward to it. The opponent must be very powerful. Martial artists who can fly are all masters. However, no matter how powerful he is, he will definitely lose if he meets Mr. Klin, the champion of the last martial arts competition. Mr. Klin is the apprentice of Master Wu Tien. He must have been practicing hard in the past 3 years and his strength must be stronger. Piccolo listened to the ignorant discussions of the crowd, and a trace of disdain flashed in his eyes. Are you the last martial arts champion? Krillin responded. Yes. Piccolo's mouth was crooked, and he said disdainfully, HMPH, you can attack at any time, little punk. Krillin frowned. You said I was a little punk. HMPH, if you lose to me, you are not even as good as a little punk. Piccolo smiled coldly. What a joke, how could I lose to a guy like you? Krillin hooked his finger and said, stop talking nonsense, attack. If I attack, I'm afraid you can't withstand a single move. Piccolo snorted coldly. Arrogant. Said, it was too late, and it was too fast. Piccolo suddenly turned into a residual image and chopped directly at Krillin with a knife. However, after the knife was chopped out, Krillin's figure disappeared. Piccolo was shocked. Disappeared. Suddenly, a voice came from behind him. Here. Piccolo turned his head, startled. He didn't see how Krillin moved. At this moment, Piccolo's face was terribly green, and beads of sweat oozed from his forehead. How is it possible? This thought flashed through his mind, and he didn't see Krillin's moves clearly, and flew backwards. Fortunately, Piccolo was proficient in flying technique, and stopped his retreating figure halfway and floated in the sky. The audience immediately broke out into warm applause. So cool, Mr. Krillin is so fast that ordinary people like us can't see it. That's right, can Mr. Krillin teleport? It's amazing. This guy is no match for Mr. Krillin at all. Quote. That's right. The only 2 disciples who can fight against Mr. Krillin are Mr. Son Goku and Ms. Chichi, Mr. Wu Tian's other 2 disciples. Master Roshi was very pleased to hear the people around him praising Krillin. At this moment, he felt that his status was deified in people's hearts. Piccolo had just stabilized himself in the air when Krillin chased him. It was just a sweeping kick, and Piccolo screamed and shot backwards. The next moment, Krillin flashed behind Piccolo's flying path. And kicked him back with a backhand kick. After 2 consecutive interceptions, Piccolo was kicked 3 times by Krillin like a football. Damn it, you actually despise me like this, Piccolo Daimao. Piccolo was angry. He tore off his headscarf and cloak, revealing his head with antennas. Everyone looked at him in surprise. This person looks a little familiar. It feels a bit like that Piccolo Daimao. Quote. Piccolo Daimao. I seem to have read in the newspaper that he is younger than that Piccolo Daimao. Seeing such a strange shape, which looks very much like the former Piccolo Daimao, everyone became suspicious. After hearing the voices of the crowd, Krillin also became serious. It would be bad if he hurt ordinary people. Let's defeat him quickly. At this moment, Piccolo rushed towards Krillin. Without the weight, Piccolo's speed was ridiculously fast. However, Krillin's strength was dozens of times higher than his at this moment. Even if Piccolo improved a little, it was only from one person dealing with 1 ant to one person dealing with 2 ants. Piccolo punched Krillin, and Krillin sneered and grabbed Piccolo's fist. He wanted to break free, but he couldn't. Piccolo was shocked, and his eyes suddenly shot out laser-like rays. However, Klin just tilted his head lightly and avoided the ray attack. The ray hit the ring behind Klin, instantly shattering several tiles. 4.3 The audience gasped. It turns out that this guy is so powerful. The next moment, Klin punched Piccolo in the abdomen. He groaned miserably, his veins popped out. His eyeballs bulged, and his saliva flowed all over the floor. Klin took another step forward and swept up with a whip kick. Piccolo's body flew backwards, hit the wall, and then fell to the ground. The referee immediately ran over to count down. 10, 9, 8. The second generation of the devil didn't stand up. Klin won. In an instant, warm applause broke out outside. Great. Mr. Klin is so powerful. Huh, you still say he looks like Piccolo Daimao, it's totally a joke. This guy is vulnerable in front of Mr. Krillin, he is just a small shrimp. Humph, didn't you see that he is very powerful, a laser broke a lot of floor tiles. Question mark. I think even if Piccolo Daimao is resurrected, he will not be Mr. Krillin's opponent. Yes, Mr. Krillin is too powerful. Do you think there is a possibility that it was Mr. Krillin who killed Piccolo Daimao 3 years ago? Hiss. A group of surprised voices suddenly appeared in the audience. Bulma was listening to gossip and eating melons in the audience, and a trace of surprise flashed in her eyes. It's strange, how come Krillin is about to become a god? Goku was also surprised to see the performance of the audience. He made a head, and muttered with some doubt, why do I feel that I can see the shadow of Satan from Krillin?